What is up, Woods Nation? Zip and I are back to bring you the totally authentic, not arbitrary, and completely factual power rankings.
Undisputable.
You just said everything I wanted to say in one word, and and that's why I have you on here. I appreciate you so much.
I don't know if you've heard, but I do have an English degree.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've tried to keep it a secret from Woods for a while, actually, but I think it's time to come clean.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's cool, man. Congrats.
Thanks, dude. I worked really hard on it.
But yeah, so this is the power rankings video we do at the beginning of every season. We have 18 coaches for season 12 of Woods. And a special note about this season, it is going to be the last Gen 8 Nat Dex draft that we do. Maybe one day we'll have a callback to Gen 8, as like a one-off type of thing, but
a callback to Gen 8 would just be bringing back Dynamax, which sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, we never... Even when Dynamax first came out, we were like, no. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wasn't around for that.
We never tried it in draft. We basically banned it before even Smogon did. And they
It's a
banned
good call.
And they banned it pretty much immediately too,
Yeah, they banned it really quick.
Okay. But yeah, I think we were pretty quick to ban I don't know, Dynamax. We did use Z crystals in Gen 7, but I feel like we kept Hidden Power and Pursuit and those kind of things banned when most leagues weren't for Gen 8.
Well, I remember the 2 Gen 7 seasons I was in, and by that I mean one season, half a season and then a draft for another season. The second season you had to draft a Z Crystal. So it's always been
policed a little bit.
Yeah, well-reasoned and conservative.
Yep. So, and also exciting news. Look at these team pages, by the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, team logo's mandatory. We also have pictures. Most people have pictures of themselves. Carnage does not, but that's
What do you
okay.
mean? That's him.
Yeah, it pretty much is. He's a teacher. We have 2 teachers at least in this league, which is pretty rad.
Teachers rule. Shout out teachers.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I said that sarcastically, but seriously, shout out teachers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Woodsy picked out this picture for Carnage. It's just a penguin, with a chalkboard, but it's so appropriate.
It works. It works really well.
But I do like the additions too. Like we have abilities, stats, and your types on there. So I think for prep, that'll be useful for people.
Oh, 100%. I think every dock change made this season is actually reasonable and useful, but mostly I'm just nutting over how fucking cool it looks.
Yeah, as we go through these, I'm just gonna get it geeked over everyone. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, this one looks so good.
I'm just looking ahead to Jers. Yeah, we
yeah.
got some time before you nut over Jers.
Yeah, we got time. So full disclosure, we didn't rank these teams before doing this, so this is kind of on the fly. And we're
gonna figure it out.
We'll just see how it shakes out. Maybe at the end we have a ranking, an official ranking 1 through 18. Or maybe we just talk about your teams and say what we like and dislike and all that jazz.
I'm gonna push for us to do a formal ranking just so I can tell people to stop being toxic when they come out.
Okay. You should keep some kind of sheet open and just
yeah.
I don't know, I don't know.
I have that super comprehensive draft sheet, but I've used it so much it doesn't know how to fucking keep up with me anymore. So when I input the mons, I have to also re-input them into the type matchup thing. So it's not going to be super useful.
Okay. It's fine. Who needs organization?
I'll keep notes. I'll keep notes.
It's fine. So let's talk about Carnage, his team here. I think he has, arguably just the 2 best pivoters in the entire league, right? Caesar is always just a great U-turner,
sure.
It forces a ton of switches. Can revenge kill a lot of things with Bullet Punch. But then Rotom Wash, like being a water type with Volt Switch is just so good. Like that's such a great trait, you know.
Yeah.
But just on top of that, I mean, he's just got like good wall breaking. He's got good speed tiers.
Yeah, dude, Urshifu and Alakazam is a really nice combo that I didn't think about beforehand.
Yeah, I feel like any strong psychic with Urshifu is pretty good. And
Yeah,
then
because everybody always freaks out about having like a bulky enough fairy, and also he covered that by stealing Aromatisse. Like, what is it, Kabaya Berry? The poison resist berry for Aromatisse is a pretty solid Urshifu counter, if you can get it in safely. But like,
true.
faster fighting types or like fighting type priority, and like granted, Alakazam isn't the bulkiest mon in the world, but it can live a Mach Punch
Right.
for like a baseline Mach Punch. So like, just to have Alakazam to just not want you to have your fighting type out is going to be really nice for Urshifu.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing I want to touch on too, the order of teams we're going through is basically it's the draft order, and that's how we separate conferences. So as we go through each team, like the next team will have had the second pick, and so on. Carnage had the first pick, and he picked Urshifu, which
Always a good choice.
great pick. Because if you look at the draft sheet, we did add also Speed Boost Blaziken this season, as well as Deoxys Speed.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the two new additions, and we just made a new column for 19. And yeah, I mean Urshifu is very good. Wicked Blow is just so hard to switch into. You have to have very specific checks to it.
Dude, when I was, I mean, you know this because I've been talking to you about it, but like, I thought Urshifu would be more fair with Wicked Blow banned, but I'm really glad it got bumped up a point value. I think that covers how good it is.
Yeah, because I don't think it's like... It's obviously very good. That's why it's 19 points. But when we were... Oh, and also, forgot to mention this. Zip is now a mod. Congrats to Zip. Clap it up.
Oh, thank you. Mod of the people.
Yeah, definitely. Literally, his name is People in the Discord.
Other than that, I'm not sure there's another way to justify me being a mod of the people.
But yeah, so now we have you, me, Woodsy, and Jordy. It's still Woodsy is the commissioner. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I said that. If you heard that, Woodsy, I fucking hate you.
It's Woodsy and the boys, with you being ahead of the other boys, because Al and I have done very little.
I don't know. That's not true. But when we
Dude,
were...
I put in like 6 mods.
Well, so before you became a mod, we were obviously doing the tiering for this season, and there weren't big changes. But yeah, I mean that was one, is like the only one we discussed potentially banning was Urshifu, but ultimately we decided like it's good, but it's not overpowered necessarily. Like there's plenty of like things you can do to keep it in check, even if you have to be creative to do that.
Well, and I think it's also just a really good segue for how to talk about Carnage's team, because he has like his first 4 picks in specific are mons you really have to prep for, because like you said, Rotom Wash threatens ground types from coming in on those Volt Switches, and like even if it doesn't click Hydro Pump, it can still Will-O-Wisp, which sucks for things like Quagsire and Seismitoad too. So like his first 4, just looking at those, you're gonna have to dedicate some good prep and some creativity to those.
Well, and Wash is a really good choice user because it benefits from it, but it can also trick it onto walls that try to switch in on it.
Exactly, and I think Trick is one of the best moves in Draft League. Like even if he wants to run like a sticky barb, unless his opponent has like a Mega that like is a really good switch into Rotom Wash, and I can't think of too many off the cuff. Like he's gonna be able to just like trick a bunch of really annoying shit onto mons who don't want to deal with those items.
Yeah, and man, his speed tiers are among the best. I mean, maybe they could be a little better, but it's really hard to draft a team with like speed tiers that are this well balanced across the board.
No, I totally agree. Like speed tiers were a big focus for me in this draft because I think it's something I've been lacking competence in before. And like, there are big gaps between like 145 and 120, don't get me wrong. But like overall, he's got such good speed tiers, like you said, between like 108, 97, 86, 80, and then even after that.
Well, and honestly, too, having Aromatisse at 29, like having something slow like that is good too.
Yeah, and
Um,
it has Trick Room too, which
yeah.
helps.
Um, and yeah, like the reason why speed tiers are so important in drafts, like basically, if you have a lot of mons that are around the same speed, right, then for the opponent, they get to prep in a way that lets them add more EVs to bulk, or it just really makes it a lot easier for your opponent if your speed tiers aren't spaced out. They
Right.
can
And
they
like
yeah.
even more than bulk almost. I mean, granted like, if you build offensively like a lot of us tend to do too, like you said, bulk can be a huge problem that if you're not expecting it. But just like the ability to run like a 95 base speed mon at adamant is a
Right.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You can obviously work around speed tiers. It's not the end all be all, but um, it definitely can make it more challenging.
Well,
I
and to your point, part of the reason I like his speed tiers is he's got mons that can outspeed some Scarfers to threaten Urshifu.
right. Well, and Urshifu is a good scarfer in its own right. If you wanted to run
Mhm.
that, I
He
think
almost has good artificial speed tiers. You know what I mean? Because
right.
like you said, Urshifu is a really good Scarfer. Rotom Wash is a really good Scarfer. Uh, Nidoqueen is a surprisingly good Scarfer, and like Braviary can run like Choice Specs and Scarf. Like it commonly runs Choice Scarf
I'm glad
on
you brought
water.
that up because Galvantula being able to set webs and then that helps with speed tiers just because if you can drag most of the opponent's team down one speed, obviously that's huge. He's also
Right.
got Defiant Braviary. That's something.
Right.
That's something I've always wanted to try. Um, just Defiant in general, I've never really used it, but Braviary in particular, it's actually pretty strong. I mean, 123 base attack is no joke, and it gets like it's kind of like Staraptor. It gets fighting coverage.
Dude, I
So
have it in a different league right now too, and even just a Sheer Force Life Orb special set with like Hurricane, Heat Wave, Toxic, and Roost can put in work. Like that thing can Oko defensive Skarmory
wow,
without Sturdy, of course. But you know what I
it's
mean? Like
it's crazy
yeah,
like how strong Sheer Force is. It
ridiculous. And he has
it
two
yeah
good users.
yeah it makes oh yeah Nidoqueen.
Hmm.
And then Magic Card Alakazam with Life Orb. Yeah, he's got great wall breaking, honestly. Like,
Yeah, like so I was looking at his team originally, and like I'm inputting his type matchups right now, which probably won't happen too much through the rest of this, just because it takes a lot of time. But
yeah, that's fine.
like his type matchups aren't bad at all so far, and I'm only like 6 mons in. But like I even more than a cohesive unit, I think in draft, if you have one good mon with a good matchup, you can do really well. And Urshifu, Caesar, Sizor, and Alakazam are all mons that can have like really good game-winning matchups.
Oh yeah, and you know how I feel about Caesar. Like, that mon is so good. I think it's just like incredible. It's
It's stupid.
what's its point value? It's 14 points, which
14.
I do think it's not like a 17 point mon or something,
No,
but
but
like
it's really good.
for what it does, like 14 points is a steal. It's so good.
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the things I really like about Woods too. Is like you get some things that are a little bit undervalued because we like to promote usage and stuff like that. But like if you're a smart drafter, you can get an insane team out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, and like I like that you can do a range. So Karn is drafted 9.
Hmm.
You do have to draft at least 9, but you can if you want to use all your points before getting to 11, you can. So you'll see teams with 9, 10, or 11.
Right.
Um, and I think that just gives the coaches a little bit more flexibility on how they want to structure their team. You know.
Oh yeah, very much agreed. And like so, I did end up getting the type matchups put in. He has a little bit of a fire and an ice weakness, just in that he's got one fire resist in Rotom Wash. He has a 4 times weakness in Scizor, but like that's an insane combo. Volt Turn right away, and just like they cover each other's weaknesses super well. Like super well in that they only have one weakness each, and they both resist the other's weakness.
Right.
But like, Rotom is only fire resist. He has 3 ice weaknesses, with one of them being a 4 times and 2 resists. But like he has really good ice resists too.
Yeah, I do like Mega Sceptile in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the Lightning Rod was there to... It feels like he doesn't necessarily need the electric immunity, because he has Nidoqueen. He doesn't have a lot of electric weak. Like, his water type is also part electric, you know?
Yeah.
It's really just Braviary that's weak to electric. It's never
like
bad.
Sceptile.
You know?
I
like,
tend to like Mega Sceptile almost on its own rather than in a vacuum, just because that speed tier is so nice and Lightning Rod is a good ability. But
yeah,
like,
I mean, it blocks Volt Switch, and that's good by itself.
And his only other electric immunity is Nidoqueen, with his other resist being Galvantula. So like having another like,
you're right.
is susceptible to chip, you know?
Yeah, he really doesn't have a lot of. I guess Aromatisse can wish, but the only other mon that can recover by itself is Scizor, right? Unless I'm missing.
Alakazam
Roost.
Yeah, Roost, recover Alakazam, and then Rotom gets Pain Split, but that's not like reliable.
Yeah, I forget.
I really like the Aromatisse pick for him, not just because of what we said about Urshifu, but wishing feels important for his defensive core.
And he does tend to draft wish because he'll pick Vaporeon a lot, or he definitely likes to play, and his team speaks to it. He definitely plays the balance game. He doesn't go too far into offense or too far into defense. He likes to have a balanced approach, and I like that a lot.
You also don't really need a balanced approach when you're getting things like Urshifu and Alakazam. Like, those things just eat.
Well, and like you said, I mean, I've seen you put in work with Alakazam. It has the coverage to beat almost anything, you know?
Yeah.
Its checks are usually, like, dark types, or for a psychic type, rather. And it gets Focus Blast, which, I mean, Focus Miss and all that, but...
Yeah, and like my success with Alakazam is a little bit, tilted because I never missed a Focus Blast, which is just like sheer dumb luck. But he's got enough things that can just eat its counters alive. Like Urshifu S does not care about dark types one bit.
No, and what
Scizor for the most part.
And that's the other great thing too with all his wall breaking is he does have a lot of great pivoting, which will get those threats in for free. So
100%.
Yeah, so I think this team would be rated pretty high for me.
Yeah, he has 6 momentum users, most of which are U-turners over Volt Switchers. So I think that's really nice.
Yeah. You got anything else to say about Mr. Carnage here, or are we good to go to the next one?
No, I think like the last thing I would say is, we brought up those fire and minor ice weaknesses, but like you said, with all that pivoting, he's going to be able to pick his matchups really well. And especially like, I don't know that his priority is overwhelming, but Scizor and Urshifu both have fantastic priority moves. Scizor maybe being the best priority user in the meta. It's like, I think he's in a really good spot. I think he's gonna eat pretty well this season.
I hope so, man. He's a Woods staple. We were actually putting together the Woods history, and he's like top 5 or 6 for most Woods seasons played. I mean,
holy shit.
Yeah, he's played in a lot. It's like Woodsy and Jordy. Oh, nice. I hear it. Chug, baby.
I was trying to be subtle.
Not subtle at all, my friend.
Not one bit.
But yeah, it's like Woodsy and Jordy have obviously played in the most. They've been in every single one. I've been in every single one since season 2, so I only missed the first one. But then it's like Shideru, Carnage. I think they're next.
I think you, Carnage, and I all came in season 2, and we got 3 consecutive draft slots, and there's always been a little bit of a bond there because we were just sniping each other left and right.
Dude, I do remember it was like season 3, and we had like literally the same draft plan because every time one of us picked, we were like, God damn it, no.
Yeah, dude, when I came back in season 7 or 8, Carnage says, I don't give a shit about what the draft plan is as long as I get to snipe Zip.
Yeah. That was a fun draft. I like being forced to adapt to like a lot of people. Like some people, not in Woods necessarily, but some people do get upset when they get their draft plan goes to shit because people are picking it. But
right,
sometimes it's like, damn, I really wanted to use that thing, but it's also fun to like have to think on the fly and be like, okay, let me pivot and try something else then.
And Woods is so like off the wall with its general drafts that like sometimes too it's just not even worth making a plan because something ridiculous will fall to you later because like everyone's here to have fun and they pick things they want to use.
Exactly.
And Carnage did that with, like we've mentioned, I think his wall breaking is his best asset here. Like Alakazam is a really good setup user, Scizor is a really good setup user. I think for the most part though, you're just gonna have to make sure you're winning the momentum war against him. You're like, I'm already thinking about how to position against him if I play him. I don't even know. I don't look at the schedule. But, you know, like, if you're playing against Carnage, you're going to have to win that position battle, or else he's going to OHKO you with Urshifu and Alakazam.
Oh, he plays Uzi week 1. I definitely want to see that.
And also, we should mention one of the best fairy killers in the game, Scizor. You want to bring your really good fairy type against Urshifu? Good luck, man. Bold.
That's actually so true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he's got one of the best fairy checks in the game.
Yeah, it's like nobody brought Azumarill to resist those bullet punches. I know Jungle Cat drafted Mega Marwile, but it doesn't want to take like a +2 bullet punch too often.
Yeah, someone did take Primarina, but yeah.
Oh, Seth did, yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Plenty of time. Yeah. I have tabbed over to our next coach, and I think we need to question Woodsy's ethics because we have the all-time winningest coach in Woods history who just won a championship in Season 11, is in the finals currently for Little Cup, and Woodsy, quote-unquote, randomizes the draft order. And
allegedly.
So Jordy, and for more context, Jordy got first pick in Little Cup.
After winning a chip. Directly after winning a chip.
So maybe looking to the future, maybe he loses the finals because he had second pick. I'm just saying. If you can put some money down on Woodsy, do it because I think I just cracked the code.
There you go. I mean, it would be a more reliable bet if Woodsy got first pick, but he got like fourth anyway.
I'm gonna tab over to Spire Fan real quick. I found the Woods script, buddy. I have figured it out. Okay. Anyways, it is borderline unfair to everyone in Woods that we allowed this man to get Speed Boost Blaziken upon its release.
The best part is he wasn't even sure he wanted it. He was expecting Carnage to take either Blaziken or Deoxys Speed as the new toys, and he was like, well, I don't know what to do now.
It's like, what do you do, right? Because if I had the chance to get... I think for most people, if they had the chance to take it, they were going to. Because it's a new toy, because we haven't allowed it in Woods before. And I don't blame them, you know?
Yeah, well, and getting after that thing where it's like, you know, we applauded Carnage for having things you have to devote prep to. If you don't devote prep to Blaziken, you're going to lose to Blaziken with Speed Boost.
Yeah, here's the thing. And just like Urshifu, I have the same argument, and we'll see how it plays out this season. Jordy's going to make it look absolutely broken. So I want it on the record now. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's strong. But I don't think it's going to be, like, unbearably, like, too strong for the overall metagame.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I used it recently in IBL, and granted, IBL has some more broken things available, but, like, it devotes a lot of prep from the opponent, but it also devotes a lot of prep from the user. Like, you can't just use Source Dance Protect every week.
Well, and
it does have counters.
Here's the thing: its stab moves are completely, like, blocked by any fairy, too, right? Like, or does fairy resist fire, or is it the opposite?
No, other way around.
Oh no!
No, it has a really good stab combo. It does have a really.
Firefighting is really good. Yeah. Okay. So basically, though, even with that fairy thing not being true, I still think there's a lot of checks to it.
No, it
Like,
definitely has checks, and it's draft too. So like you could specifically counterplay it, like run a fire resist berry, run a fighting resist berry, that kind of thing.
it's probably going to want to run protect a lot too.
Yeah,
And so, I mean, if Jordy positions it correctly, it's maybe hard to take advantage of. But protect is a move that if you know it's coming, there's a lot of things you can do to take advantage of it.
yeah.
You know, like you can click agility, you can click iron defense, you can basically any setup. You can set up reflect. Like there's a lot of things you can do that are better than +1 speed.
Well, what I love about his draft though is he got Mandibuzz and Latios to pair with it, which both counter its weaknesses really well. And then Raikou being one of those electric types with water coverage is really nice to deal with the flying types. Like nobody drafted Mega Pinsir, for example, which is a really good check to Mega Blaziken with priority flying stab. But like he's got a lot of things to get it in. And a lot of the things he got to counter its weaknesses have pivoting. Latios being the worst with Baton Pass, which is still very usable. Or even Healing Wish. Like, he's going to get 2 Blaziken sweeps a game if he plays Healing Wish right.
Yeah. Oh, that's scary to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is... I could definitely see Latios playing more of a support role on his team, too.
Yeah.
Which... It's crazy, because I feel like I normally see him draft, like, hyper offense, but this team... I mean, yeah, he's got Klefki, which facilitates hyper offense, and he could definitely go that route. But I feel like this is one of the more balanced teams I've seen him draft, where he does have a lot of mons that can be defensive and.
Well, and the more I look at this draft, the more of a pain in the ass it is to prep for, because like, we talked about how his pivoters get Blaziken in really well. And then you look at you're like, okay, maybe a Scald weakness because like Mega Venusaur doesn't love being burned, but then you got Melodic who actively benefits from being burned a lot of the time too.
Jeez, yeah, and it gets competitive, which is slept on,
which is
both of its abilities are super good. It's actually like I haven't used it in a long time, but it's been one of my more favorite mons to use just because you can be very creative with it.
I totally agree.
And since it got flip turn too, it's so much it's just so good.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a huge benefit for it. Like, I'm looking at his team. If I have to nitpick, he's gonna have to choice specs Latios to have wall breaking. Like Latios, Raikou can be good wall breakers with choice items.
He does like wall breaking. He's not gonna beat you in 10 turns. He's gonna have to play I don't know, it's not a long game necessarily, but he's trying to get something set up to sweep you, basically.
And we know what that thing is too.
Yeah, Blaziken, but it could also be Combine Raikou, Combine Latios,
Stored Power Latios.
I mean Venusaur could growth or curse even if you wanted to go that route.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Blaziken's the #1 threat for sure, but Raikou getting Scald and Aura Sphere is so good for it. That limits its checks too, because you would think just send in your ground type, but no, not that simple. Not that simple.
Here, let's talk about his speed tiers a little bit. I'm gonna try and input his team on this
sure
defensive type coverage.
Yeah, so it is kind of okay, so. Speed Boost Blaziken, I don't know what the actual speed is after a +1, but you should probably think of it more like that than its 80 base speed.
So I actually know this intimately because I used Zero Aura in Woods and then Blaziken in IBL. Base 80 at +1 with a speed boosting nature is exactly as much as you need to outspeed Jolly Zero Aura at 143.
Okay, so it's faster than that, which is fast AF. So... yeah, I would think of it more like that.
One protect, because
okay, one issue though too is he's got 5 of his 9 mons are between 75 to 81 speed.
I think he has 3 base 80s straight up.
Yeah, Blaziken is one of them, and then he's got 110, 115, and 50. His speed tiers are not amazing,
which is something he noted in mod chat too.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. What chat?
in mod chat.
I don't know what chat you're talking about. What's?
Sorry, redacted.
There you go.
Are you gonna have to edit a video for once?
I'm not editing shit. That is so much effort, bro. When this video's done, I'm clicking upload to YouTube. If I say a bunch of dumb shit, then I just am on the record saying dumb shit. You know,
Well, I'm
like.
glad we're both partaking in.
Oh, that's funny.
So I've got his type, his defensive type coverage pulled up. Across the board, pretty good. Like for the most part, if he has a weakness to something, he has 2 immunities or 2 resists. For example, he has 2 ground immunities but 3 ground weaknesses. The only ones I could see being a real problem just based on this, like if we're going on balance, he has a dragon immunity and a dragon weakness and no resists. He has 1 rock resist and a weakness, so he's a little bit weak to rock. Other than that, we're looking at poison and normal, which aren't the best attacking types in the world. Like he has a poison immunity and a poison weakness. But correct me if I'm wrong here. Oh, Latias does get wish, which helps to patch that up.
Garchomp kind of goes in on his team, huh?
Oh, a little
like
bit.
Something like a Garchomp or a Zygarde, kind of just because right his dragon resist is Klefki, or like immunity, and then Dragon Ground just kind of is tough.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much of a defensive linchpin Klefki is for his team, which isn't exactly what you want. Like, granted, it's going to get a lot of free screens up, which is going to help with this in general. But, like, his only poison resist or immunity is Klefki. His only dragon resist or immunity is Klefki. His only rock resist is Klefki, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where he does have a very solid team, but there are things you can pick out and say, like, he's going to have to work around that or find ways to circumvent it.
Right. And, like, I think Klefki is at its best when it's spamming Thunder Wave, just stacking hazards out the ass. And I think he's going to have to run screens Klefki a lot if it wants to hold up.
And like you said, he is going to have to bring it a lot. Unless he wants to get run over by, like, one mon.
I mean, granted, he's going to want to bring it a lot anyway because Blaziken loves spike stacking.
Oh, and I'm sure it'll love screens, too, with Swords Dance and... Yeah.
Yeah, I think Klefki is a great pickup for him. I think it's going to be carrying a bit much of the defensive weight for just my comfort. But like you said, he's kind of an HO player anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you can get past Klefki and Blaziken, you stand a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
Even though, like, the rest of his team is solid. And we haven't even talked about Smeargle. That's a very scary pick for him.
Yeah, that's actually really true.
Smeargle is not amazing. Like, its base stat total is 250. It's just like I'm sure he can be very creative with the utility sets, and yeah, that's gonna be like he could run Spore, hazard stacking, screens, you know.
And imagine getting your best Blaziken check put to sleep.
Yep.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I imagine it's like Spore, hazards, screens. I don't think he probably doesn't need to branch out too far off that, if I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, with us having wet baton pass banned, like, I think that's part of the reason Smeargle is so slept on Woods. Like, you can't just like run a Moody set and baton pass after a Spore.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dumb.
I mean, we were just talking about how like Klefki's probably gonna have to decide between screens or hazards, and now he's got a Smeargle, which can stack every hazard.
Yep. Although, you know, it's also one of those things, do you really want to bring a Smeargle over something like Milotic or Latias, you know? Like,
yeah.
True. So, it's tough. Like, I think he obviously knows how to build his teams and prep each week, so I'm not worried about it. But I do think it's a tricky one to add something like a Smeargle.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a unique challenge for him because, like you said, he does kind of stray towards HO, but like he's so fucking good, dude. Like, like we can just say that now. We've all been talking about nerf Yordi,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, Yep,
He's gonna do a
and
great job.
now he gets Speed Boost Blaziken, and we've ruined the league for everyone. So,
Way to go, Woodsy.
yeah, thanks, Woodsy. All right. Let's move on to Seth. Oh, real quick, though, actually.
His picture.
Well, that, but also, how would you compare this to Carnage? Like, let's just keep a running tally. Would you,
design-wise?
like the team, would you rank it, like, higher than Carnage or lower? Like, don't put a number to it. Like, we'll...
I think, okay, so I honestly think these teams are really similar. I think they're going to end up in similar places if we do, like, a dedicated ranking, just because they've got that one Mon you really have to look out for.
I agree, yeah.
I think on balance, I actually like Carnage's a bit more because it's not so focused in a couple win cons.
Okay, I can agree to that. I'd probably...
I think Yordi's is actually better balanced on whole. Like, I think this has a dedicated theme. But when I'm looking at, like, a week-to-week thing where one Mon can have a great matchup, I think I'm more scared of Carnage's team.
Sure. Yeah, I think I agree. It's like just slightly.
Right.
It's like one of those things where I'm trying to remove like the player skill because like Jordy would have the highest player skill in the whole league.
Right.
Like if you just take this team in a vacuum and then you take this team, I think I do take Carnage's. I'm just so scared of what he's gonna do with this team. You know.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
And like this is always the hardest part of power rankings. Like,
yeah,
everybody in Woods is good. Yordi is like, you know, he's like the Tom Brady of Woods.
Yeah.
Like, we can't be factoring that in. And like Carnage also has whomped my ass before. Like I think he 5-0'd me a couple seasons ago.
He definitely, when I was tallying all the Woods games, he beat me last time we played. And yeah, like I said, he's been in Woods forever. I think he always is among like the highest teams in my rankings. I usually rank his drafts pretty well. You know, he does.
Yeah,
he does a
had
good
like
job.
one PR where he fell a little bit low, but that I'm talking like 10.
Yeah, he's usually like top 5-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I think I'd put Carnage over his just slightly.
But like I said, these teams are like almost level for me. I just
Yeah,
can't because he has those. He has like more than one Mon that you have to like super prep for.
Yeah, same boat. All right.
Speaking of Mons that you have to super fucking prep for, good lord.
Yeah, so here's the Dragapult pick 3. I'm gonna go to the draft sheets. Okay, so out of the 18s, Dragapult's the only one we talked about maybe moving up to 19, but I think 18 is appropriate. At first,
I agree.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, so what I told you guys in mod chat was like, if you look at assists versus goals, I think Dragapult is best used as an assist getter. It's an offensive pivot of the highest degree. But I think Urshifu is that like striker you really got to look out for if we're going for soccer metaphors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I think I was the one actually pushing for Pult 19 at first, but you guys like when you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, I feel okay, it's more of an 18.
Yeah, I just like
okay.
I've never been O-code by a Dragapult.
Well, Specs is pretty strong if it drops a Draco or something.
Oh no, it's super strong, don't get me wrong, but like unless you're sacking. Like I think Dragapult is an offensive facilitator. I think it's like a 3S tier offensive facilitator.
Also, I just want to point out the logo real quick. I'm actually like looking at it. That's pretty good.
Oh, it's fucking badass. The personal pick is haunting and hilarious.
Oh, I actually don't know how to feel about that.
It's haunting.
I got mixed feelings on that one. It's like he's smiling, but it's intimidating. I don't know.
That dude's gonna poop in your Cheerios, and so is his team.
Yeah, his team is Pre-Marina round 2 is early, but honestly, it's really good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like Water Fairy is such a great defensive typing, and then it's got Flip Turn. What's its ability do again? Liquid Voice.
I forget. Turns normal type sound moves like Hyper Voice into
Yeah, it's kind of like Pixelate, but only for sound moves.
Yeah. I mean, but Hyper Voice is really good. Like, I think Sub is a super good move in Draft League.
Oh
So to
yeah,
just have his first 2 picks are like, no, fuck your substitutes.
yeah. Oh my god, you might as well not even run sub against this guy.
Oh, I'm not running Sub against Seth. No
Yeah,
way.
yeah, kind of invalidating sub. I really like, unless you really need it. But man,
Yeah. And like speaking of so you mentioned spec sets on Dragapult, which are really good. His wall breaking is ridiculous. Dragapult, Primarina, Mega Aggron can be a wall breaker if you want it to as well because it's so naturally bulky.
yeah, 140
Conk
attack.
is an insane wall breaker. Azelf gets more coverage. It's basically a Gen 1 normal type with his coverage, and it has balanced offensive stats, so you don't know what the hell his Azelf is going to be. It can be a really threatening lead to let Dragapult actually be a sweeper. But one of the things I love the most about his team is how he necessitates fairy types with Dragapult, and he's got Nihilego. If you U-turn into the fairy type switch and let Nihilego hit like a meteor beam or get a beast boost, you lose.
Yeah, GG.
You lose. Yeah.
Yeah, Nihilego is one of those mons that snowballs so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, I like that it can also be ran as like a hazard stacking, like its special defense is really good. You can tank some
Big
hits.
Looking at it now, his defoggers are Conkeldurr, Rotom-Mow, and he's got Sandslash for Rapid Spin.
Why does Conkeldurr get defog, dude?
Hey man, you spin huge cement blocks around really fast in a circle and tell me everything doesn't fly away.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I just don't get it, man. Even like Timber gets it. Fucking.
They just
what?
spin their big, like building equipment around. And
Dude,
everything.
let's
It's a big
like
draft.
it's like almost exclusively a flying Pokemon thing, or
Also
like you at least have to have wings.
The way its nose is so bulbous, I bet if you squeeze it, all the air just comes out of its asshole. And blows
Oh my
everyone
god, you went there.
Of course.
Yeah, nice. I don't know how to like audibly do the ... that Spire does, but that's what I'm doing right now.
It's like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Oh god. Yeah.
But so what I really like about Seth's team is the way his offensive mons complement each other. Like they just eat each other's checks alive. We talked about fairy types. Nihilego loves coming in on fairy types. Primarina, you send in your ice type. If it doesn't have like freeze dry or other good coverage, that's a free calm line sweep.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
also
this is the best setup team so far.
well. Yeah. Well, speaking of setup, I was going to bring up Incineroar.
Yes.
Like he's got, and just like Wash too, Rotom-Mow with Volt Switch. I mean, you don't want to switch your ground type in when he can click Leaf Storm.
Well, and to steal your point too, on the other Rotom is Trick.
Yeah.
What happens if your best check to Dragapult or Nihilego or Primarina or Conk? Jesus, what happens if that one can't use 2 moves every time it's in?
Yeah, makes that tough.
Also, I don't know if you've ever prepped against a Choice Band Buffalant, but it's a problem.
You know what? I don't think I have, and if I have, they didn't bring it.
Yeah, it's a problem. That's a really good value wall breaker.
Yeah, it's like 3 points or something, isn't it? I'm gonna check now.
Yeah, something like that.
3. Damn.
Yeah, this is a really good team, man.
Yeah, I honestly feel bad for this conference. Jesus, like these are the first 3 teams.
Yeah.
Like they're all very like balance heavy. I feel like they don't go too far into one spectrum.
Right. I guess if we are nitpicking here, Seth does lack reliable recovery. He hasn't been in Woods in a couple seasons. I don't really remember his preferred like playstyle archetype. Like
I think it's more balanced, but
like does he have a Wish Passer for Mega Aggron, for example? You know what I mean?
No, that is unfortunate because Aggron thrives with Wish support.
Yeah.
He's got like what Drain Punch, Conk, and Pain Split Rotom,
Yeah,
and that's like it.
I
So
think Drain Punch is most reliable as recovery on Kong because his knockoffs hurt so bad with Guts, but
yeah, I mean that is a downside for sure. Like Jordy had, tons of recovery. So did Carnage actually.
yeah.
So that does mean he's gonna have to pick his spots maybe a little better. Like he can't be as loose with it.
Yeah. You wanna start on speed tiers while I input his thing into my defensive type coverage?
Oh,
calculator again?
yeah, sure. So, I mean, Polt's great because it's 142. That's going to be outrunning most things. But past that, I mean, Azelf and Nihilego, both being above 100 is good, and it's like 115 and 103. That's pretty good spacing. But he's got nothing in between Azelf and Polt. And then, honestly, like, all the rest of his mons are pretty much the same speed. They're all around like 50 to 60-ish.
Right.
50, or he's got 45 to 65. He's got like 6 mons in that speed tier.
Right.
He does have Rotom at 86, actually. I missed that one. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he just has large gaps. And, like, nothing between 86 and 103. Nothing between 115 to 142. I think,
One
yeah.
thing I will say for him is this is the best defensive coverage team we've looked at so far. He can switch into every type pretty comfortably. That wish passing hurts a little bit more without that, just because, like, I think Chip is going to build up against him.
Yeah, he does have good removal, though, right? Two defoggers, a spinner. Sandslash can spin. Yeah.
All right, so with Conk there, yeah, his defensive type chart is really good.
Yeah. Like his team's gonna be hard to break, kind of. Like not in the sense that if you have the ability to chip away at his team, it's not gonna be hard to break. But if you're required to play fast pace against him, I think it will be hard to break, if that makes sense.
No, totally agreed. You're gonna want like choice items and
yeah.
I do think he might have a little bit of trouble like winning the Hazard War, which if he doesn't win that is going to be a problem. Like Rotomo is going to be pigeonholed into defog a lot because Sandslash isn't in every weak mon, and you don't want Conk running defog if possible.
Yeah, like it's nice that Conk has it, but I agree. You want it to be attacking. Because it just does so much.
Yeah, agreed. And like you want those like Life Orb, Iron Fist sets. You want those Gut sets. You want the Sheer Force set. Jesus, this thing gets all the best abilities in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, I like that it can absorb status for the team because he doesn't have a cleric either. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So having a Gutsmon that you can just, swap in anytime you think they're going to click Toxic or Sleep Powder or something, T-Wave, you just send it in. And it's not bad, like, on the physical bulk is pretty decent. 105.95 is not bad at all.
Oh, it's a really good Assault Fest user.
Yeah.
Like I said, we mentioned it as a negative, but like, also if you're not winning the Hazard War against Seth, you're losing. Because his team loves Chip. He's got really good priority.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Honestly, that's a nightmare team to go against. He's got great. Yeah. He's got great pivoting too. Like, yeah, that's gonna be tough. I think I would place his team. Oh man, they're all like so similar to me in terms of like how good I think they are. I might give him the nod over them, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I think I would. Maybe it's just because like
heavily biased towards reliable recovery. I know it's like a weakness of mine, but
I do like it too. I'm just thinking in terms of like would I use these teams? Like I would use all of them, but this one looks the most fun for some reason.
Yeah, I'm always down to stray towards fun.
Yeah, like it just looks. It has a lot of mons that I enjoy using. Like I love Conk, I love Incineroar, Azelf is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Azelf has been on my wish list forever.
Dude, 115 speed and then 125 in both attack and stats.
With rocks and U-turn and levitate.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What about you? Where would you place it?
Ugh, I don't know, man. You're right. These teams all feel like
Super
place.
super good.
I think I'm still leaning Carnage on my favorite.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Like his team was. It's good.
I think I'm going Carnage, Seth, Yordi so far.
Which is crazy because this team is also.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mandibuzz and Venusaur, that's going to be really tough to break. I don't know. I might have to evaluate later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Next, we have the Piplups. He decided to put in a quote from Bill Belichick. I hope that's real. I didn't fact check, but
I'm sure it's not.
I know.
Let's see.
I know it's not. I'm holding on to hope that it would be. So Piplups has actually made a transaction. This is already updated. Originally, he drafted Silvally, but he swapped it out for Obstagoon, basically. And then
That was a consultation with me.
yeah, I mean, he added Piplup, too. That kind of doesn't matter. It's great.
Oh, how dare you!
I mean, it's great. I'm glad he did it, because he had the point to spare, but let's be real.
Also,
He's not bringing Piplup.
controversy cleared up. It was I'm not big on titles. Just a real quick.
Okay. Well, I like the edit better.
Me too.
Okay, but golly, I'm already I'm just gonna spoil it now. This is my favorite team, and there's for at least the ones we've looked at, because Mega Mawile P2 is a core I've wanted to try, like just those two.
Yeah.
I've wanted to use it. Like I've used them both before, but not on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it until he drafted it, but Salamence with Mega Mawile is such an insane pairing.
Yeah.
Like-
So when he posted yesterday asking for some help on transactions, and I offered my help, and he asked if he should swap Salamence for Hydreigon. And I did say he needed a dark type because before that his only dark type was Silvally with the dark memory.
Right.
But I love Salamence with his team because Swampert and Mega Mawile and even Obstagoon, maybe even Roserade love Wish. They love it.
Okay, yeah, like a defensive set with Intimidate, Roost.
Yeah.
I've seen it run in Draft League a lot, and it's super good. I mean, obviously you have as long as you're not getting hit by ice moves, you're pretty bulky. Like, it's good.
Yeah, Salamence is a really good gadget mon. I love it with Mega Mawile. And like Hydreigon is an incredible partner for Mega Mawile, don't get me wrong, but I love the ability to Wish Pass into it. Because Mega Mawile does not give a shit about Fairy, Ice, or Rock, which are Salamence's biggest weaknesses. Or Dragon. Jesus.
Yeah, they go together like peanut butter and jelly. It's actually insane. One of the great things about the P2 Mawile combo that I'm sure you can connect the dots on is Trick Room Teleport.
Yep.
So then you get 3 turns where you are faster than everything, and you're a Mega Mawile.
Exactly. And you know what else really loves Trick Room is Vikavolt. That thing's got, what, 145 special attack?
Yep. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, it's not the only abuser he's got.
Yeah.
Because it's even slower, actually. It's 43.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then
that's really
fun.
fun.
if you're not worried about that, you got snowballers on the faster side, like Scarf Salamence with Moxie. Hell yeah. Spectrier. Hell yeah. Obstagoon is a dark type that beats other dark types with close combat too, and Mega Mawile eats them for breakfast.
Well, and he can always parting shot into one of these scary setups too, like just
exactly
parting shot into Salamence and then Dragon Dance, and it's like, well,
he's also got really good. So like, part of the reason I told him to keep Salamence was Wish is so nice for Swampert which is a big defensive linchpin for him.
Yeah.
Obstagoon having Parting Shot to replace Silvali's Parting Shot is really nice.
Yeah, I will say, like, Silvally is such a good draft mod, but it doesn't work on every team necessarily.
And I don't think it didn't work on this team. I just think he really needed a dark type with Spectrier there.
No,
Like,
I agree. Like, that's the thing is, like, with Silvally, if you have to have your important types filled out.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, then it's forced to be, like, dark every week or ground every week.
And his team was pretty weak to knock off because Porygon 2 being a defensive linchpin, you need more than one knockoff switch in. Mega Mawile is a fantastic knockoff switch in, don't get me wrong. But Obstagoon is another really good one because once Flame Orb is procced, it's not taking shit.
Yeah, no,
knockoff.
That's a good point.
So I wanted him to have 2 knockoff switch-ins was part of my thing.
No, that's a good point. And you know what? I don't know if he would ever bring it, but Torracat with Eviolite also gets Parting Shot up, right? Am I wrong?
Yep, it does.
I know Litten doesn't actually.
Oh, it does. Cloud Run it.
Okay. For some reason I thought it did. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so he could double Parting Shot with Eviolite Torracat. It wouldn't be that bad. I mean, its defenses aren't amazing, but when you slap an Eviolite on it could do it. Like, they probably couldn't do much more than that, but
right.
I don't know.
You know, and Torracat's not something you're bringing every
no, and like, you may have touched on this, I don't remember, but Spectrier basically just needs dark types removed, right?
Normal types too.
And normal, yeah. But
yeah,
I feel like it would be nice if he had a fighting type then for Spectrier, actually.
Yeah,
I'd say
type is something he could really use.
I would say that's, now that I'm looking at it, that's probably my biggest gripe. But he's so good, like, everywhere else. I mean, I do like Swampert a lot on his team. You know I'm a big Swampert fan, though.
Yeah, that makes one of us.
Yeah.
It's good. I just think it's silly. I think it's overrated in terms of, like, Nuzlocke users. But
yeah. No, you're right about that. I just like that it has very good roll compression. Because you flip turn, you rocks, you're like only weak to grass. Like, yeah, you get bodied by grass, but grass is not a move that's spammed often, you know?
Well, and this is why, and Rillaboom didn't get drafted, which is kind of huge.
True.
But this is why I liked Salamence so much for him. Like, Salamence couldn't care about any grass move not named Spore or Sleep Powder. Couldn't care less.
Right. Honestly, neither could Roserade at 4 times resisted, too.
Yeah. And Vikavolt resists.
Yeah. How's he doing on Fly Resist? Because I know his electric... just Mawile.
He has 1 Fly Resist. I just plugged it in.
I mean, okay, so it's Mawile. That's not bad.
That's it.
And speaking of Wish Support too, Mawile, I mean...
Exactly.
Like, you keep Mawile healthy, like, you give it multiple chances, and you're going to...
Well, and it's like...
There's just no way you can be.
I feel like Trick Room is kind of slept on in draft in general. So, like, if you get a Trick Room up, you can also go into Salamence, man. Like, base 100 speed with 0 IVs and a negative speed nature is still underspeeding most things. A Trick Room Moxie Salamence sweep?
Oh.
And screw it. If your opponent sacks, dude, don't run min speed. Dragon Dance on the last turn of Trick Room, and then you're just continuing your sweep.
Dude, yeah, if he does that, he's getting Heat Miser. I mean, that would be insane. What if he ran room service, dude? What if he just went all out?
Right.
You could do it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at his type coverage chart right now. I think flying is the only...
Well, also, real quick, sorry, just one more point I want to get out.
No,
he does have web support for Mawile, too. Like, if he wanted to if he wanted to go that route for speed control, he can.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So he can choose to, like, try to outspeed you that way or with Trick Room, which with that dynamic, I think it makes it more scary because you don't know which one he's going to do.
No, I totally agree. I like this team a lot.
Yeah.
I like this team a lot.
It's very fun. And, like, he could go Defiant Obstagoon, too. Because he's got Webs, he's got Rose Raid to Spike Stack. He's got Rocks. Just Swampert, I think.
Mawile gets Rocks.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things, like the Conk Defog. Like, you'd much rather just be clicking an attack.
Yeah, I think above everything else, coverage is king in draft. So the most roll compression you can get. Piplup does get Rocks.
Okay.
Piplup is literally Empoleon without the Steel type. And, you know, all the other good things about it, like stats. But other than that, it's just Empoleon.
So it can defog too.
Yep, defog Rocks.
Dude, if Piplup was Steel type, I wonder if it could actually be viable with Eviolite. Just because of how good Steel types are.
It also does get Defiant. Just saying. But it doesn't get Aqua Jet, so that's not too
dude, if it got Defiant Aqua Jet and it like got even one kill, I'd be so happy.
That would be sick. But yeah, I don't. Dude, this is hard.
I don't know. Like, this is like he drafted a core I wanted to use, just Mawile P2, but
and same to me, but Mawile Salamence.
Yeah, so like combine that, I think Salamence, like those three, that's such a. I don't even care about the rest of his team. That's a really fun core. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can rank it the best simply because I really wish he was able to find a fighting type somehow.
Yeah.
Just because, like, if he had a fighting type that could open up Spectrier to do its thing.
Well, what is his fighting coverage?
He could,
Obstagoon gets close combat. Mawile gets Brick Break. Does Swampert get superpower?
Yeah, because Mega Swamp does, so it must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that's not the best fighting coverage. Like, Obstagoon wants to run close combat, don't get me wrong, but...
He's got plenty for Darks. I mean, Roserade and Mawile can handle that. Or, I'm sorry, for... yeah, for Darks. I don't know why I said Roserade.
Vikavolt can handle Darks, too.
Oh, yeah, Bug was...
Yeah, and it's also surprisingly physically bulky. Like, I know 77-90 physical bulk doesn't look like much, but like I've had trouble knocking out a Vikavolt.
Well, it's defensive typing with Levitate too. It's actually not bad. Like I don't know. I've seen it take a lot of hits in draft that I wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
I've also seen a lot of people, because it's slow, like you can just go like full special attack and HP or something.
It lives a lot. It's actually a surprisingly good assault vest user too if you don't run webs.
Yeah, which if you're not running webs, Specs is usually the go-to, right? Or at least I feel like it would be.
Yeah,
but AV would be good too. I don't. Yeah, that would be nice because it's
usually also we've talked about how important Wish is too, but like he does have two really good reliable recovery users, Vikavolt and Salamence. Oh, and Porygon.
And Roserade.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Roserade can synthesis.
Yeah, word.
I think defensive Roserade is actually a very slept-on set. I know it's good on offense, but I've ran it especially bulky a lot with, like, Rest Natural Cure. Yeah. And then you just, like, Hazard Stack and you, like, spread status, and it's really annoying, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah, it can create a lot of chaos. Or
he has two good fire resists. We've talked about he has a bit of a flying weakness, but
yeah, but that's one of those types. That's just one of those types, dude.
Yeah, like what is it? Ice, rock, ghost, flying,
dark too sometimes.
Yeah,
yeah, those are all usually tough to find a lot of resistances for
in draft, especially because there are certain things you just need.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like this team a lot. This is the hardest one to put. I know we're gonna say that a lot.
I know. I just want you to know too. It's not a big deal, but we're an hour in, and we're only on the fourth team.
All right, let's keep going.
So this is gonna be a longer video, which is fine.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, I honestly like. Usually, I kind of have more of a time crunch. But I like my day is pretty open, so
Yeah, I'm just
That's
drinking,
fine.
man. I really don't want to do homework, so.
Yeah, I'm here to help enable you. I'll help you procrastinate. It's fun. All right, we got the man himself, the legend, who, thank God, someone joined the darts theme with me. That was very fun. So if you're wondering why he picked Dodrio with his first pick, basically what Nate and I did here is we took the game of darts and we applied it to draft. So for every pick, it represented a dart. And whatever you hit on the dartboard, you pick a Pokemon worth that value. Because the dartboard's 1 to 20 and ours are 1 to 19. So
Right.
works pretty well. And he just happened to throw a 5 on his first one.
He could have
So,
done a lot worse, though.
and I'll be, yeah, like Dodrio could probably be higher, honestly. Like, it's a good Pokemon. It's just not
Dude, if it got
something.
U-turn.
Yeah. I know, so he said Jump Kick got snapped, but it still gets ground coverage and Stomping Tantrum. And it hits hard, dude. Like, I'm not talking
got
shit.
hurt really hard by the snap. Return being gone, jump kick
Yeah.
being gone.
Yeah.
That does hurt. Don't get me wrong, but like, Yordi went off on the league with Dodrio.
Yeah, when he was the Gary team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at his team, like, most teams, like, it just looks chaotic when you look at it because he had to go with a certain point value every round.
Right.
So it's a little out of whack. Like, he's probably going to bring some of the stuff more towards the middle than he is, like, the bottom or top, maybe.
Right.
We'll see. Like, the team obviously, like, it still ended up being pretty good, but I think there's a clear lack of, like, planning and synergy compared to the teams we've seen.
Yeah,
Like,
as defined by the theme. For
like
sure.
that's to be expected. Like, that's not me talking shit. I think when we get to my team, we'll say the same thing. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. But he did a good job, like, based on what he had to work with. Like, the lower darts he threw, the lower point ones, I felt like within that value, he got close to or, like, the most value that he could with that pick.
Oh, I totally agree.
Like, Mudsdale was only 7 or 8, and I think that is, I think it's underrated. I think,
dude, you know this.
You know.
I fucking hate horses. But Mudsdale is one of my favorite draft lines. I think it's insanely good. I think it's insanely
Yeah.
good.
it
I
is.
wish he had a little bit of wish support, but the double leech seed helps a lot with his longevity.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's gonna be susceptibly, like, bulky or deceptively.
Yeah, this ended up being a really good balance team.
Yeah, he's not gonna, like, roll you over. He definitely does not have a lot of wall breaking or setup. Not a ton.
Yeah,
Kel-
I'm trying to look at his setup. You got like
Keldeo.
Celesteela can be a really good setup. Keldeo is a terrifying wall breaker or setup mon, and Deoxys defense, those cosmic power stored power sets can win. I do wish he had a fighting type again.
Yeah, but I agree though. Like, he's got, I don't know. He's also kind of lacking pivoting, which isn't the worst thing. Does Deoxys get teleport? I think it does.
It does.
Yeah,
Whimsicott,
that's
Keldeo, Deoxys, Rotom are his pivoters.
Yeah, so it's not. You said Keldeo too, right?
Yeah, it gets flip
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah. So that's actually not bad because I think teleport is the best pivot move, just because you guarantee that you get the matchup you want.
Also, Woodsy said he doesn't really give a shit about momentum moves.
True.
He's a really good double switcher, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I think the art of double switching has declined because of pivot moves. Not to get not to get into some rant about, like, that as a whole, because I could probably rant on that for a while, but yeah, I think people just don't double switch like they used to. Like, they forget how good that is.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they have one check to like they only have one check on their team to a certain mon, you know they're like most likely bringing it in. So like, what is your check to that check?
Right.
I don't know, like, because a lot of times pivot moves are very good, obviously, but you can't always control the matchup because they might be pivoting, or you might move first. I don't know. Anyway,
one reason I do love momentum moves though in draft is because like there's so much specific prep. You know.
yeah, which that's another reason why I love draft, man.
Yeah. I don't play any other meta but draft. I don't care.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, it's like I feel like he has a ton of great individual mons. I just don't know how well they all synergize.
Oh, I don't think he'd be mad at us saying that. So far, I think this is the lowest ranking of a team. But
Yeah,
I think that's
I
mostly to
agree.
do with darts.
Yeah.
That's darts, man. He threw one between his legs like a long snapper. Like, he's not gonna give a shit if we say this team doesn't have the best energy.
All right, my
That
favorite.
being said, though, his type chart defensively is really good.
He always does a good job of that, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the players. You're one of those players. I feel like I'm one of those players. There's
yeah,
just...
we give a shit.
We're just like hardcore talking. Well, I basically just like the mods are the best. Everyone else sucks ass. That's basically what I'm saying.
The people.
I don't mean that at all. But
Wait till I actually mute somebody. Oh my god.
I don't abuse it, man. Don't like.
No, I literally haven't done it yet.
It'll get to your head, dude. You'll turn into Woodsy. You'll just become a dictator and mute like the entire server because they're saying start draft. Like
Woodsy Mao.
But
No, but like seriously though, I'm looking at his defensive type chart, and the things I've nitpicked on other teams are when his weaknesses when someone's weaknesses outweigh their resistances to a type. I've picked on that. I don't think Woodsy has a single type where his weaknesses outweigh his resistances. Even when he's even on numbers, he has an immunity. Like to Psychic, for example. Celesteela resists, Deoxys resists, he's got Keldeo weak, and Muck is immune. Like, things like that. His balance is really good.
yeah, I agree. Like, don't get it twisted. He might be like this team might be ranked a little bit lower than the other ones so far, but I still would not want to play him like against this team because I know he can put in work with it.
Also, we've talked about how good he is at things like double switches.
Yeah, well,
He's a wily motherfucker.
yeah, well, he'll read your soul sometimes, man.
Yeah,
And you're just like, oh my god, how did he know?
Like,
Like,
if history is any indication, I'm gonna miss a 90% accurate move against him.
as it should be, man.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you, Woodsy. He's also 6-0'd me plenty, so.
Yeah, he does that though. Like, I know we had talked about Yordi being the GOAT and comparing him to Tom Brady and everything, but like, Woodsy's win percentage is up there too.
Oh my god, yeah. What,
He's like one time, yeah, and it was like I don't know. He's just always been good. Like,
yeah, he's fucking good, and I know we have to keep like the actual like coach thing out of it for a number of reasons, but like I don't think Woodsy's gonna miss the playoffs with this team.
probably not. The dude's too goated. He's gonna go off and.
Also, if I don't say that, he's just gonna mute me. So.
You did bring it up earlier too. The double leech seed is
Yeah.
pretty annoying because you can't. I mean, grass types will still block it, but you don't want to switch grass types in on Steelo
Yeah, dude.
because it'll
Like,
flamethrower or air slash. You know.
And you and I were really championing Whimsicott when he was dealing with that value throw. But like, you know, it is sort of a situational mon. You could find a set to bring Whimsicott for every week, but I think just having Celesteela and Whimsicott with Mudsdale is going to be really, really, really hard to break. And then you got Deoxys defense, which is exactly the check you want to anything that's not a Ghost Darker bug type.
I'm surprised it went so late. that he was able to get it.
Woods doesn't really draft it. It's
Like
we're talking about doing something about it in Nat decks because of its Cosmic Power Stored Power set. So
yeah, it's just I mean in draft those sets are good. You just have a dark type that's like always an issue.
yeah, his best dark check is Whimsicott, I think. Like just on type chart paper.
Oh, Keldeo fighting.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, you're right. It's even got Justified.
We haven't even talked about it yet either, but Kyurem is
true.
one of those mons that you like. It doesn't have switch ins, just straight up. It doesn't.
Yeah, if we're talking about like, especially with Torkoal there, that's a free fire type weather ball. Like,
Hey,
that's been.
Whoa! Don't ruin the heat.
Oh, dude, that's been living.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding.
It's been living rent free in my head. It's on a Specs YouTube video. He ran Sunny Day Kyurem to eat my Mega Scizor alive, and like I couldn't stop it. So you're right. If we're talking about a team with a bunch, like not a bunch, but like some noticeable holes just due to dart throws, Kyurem is the best offensive mon you could have.
Yeah.
There's no prep. There's no prep.
Yeah, water types can't beat it because freeze dry.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he can get fire coverage, then it's.
Well, and fuck it, dude. If he's playing someone with a Chansey or a Blissey, run Dragon Dance or sub.
Yeah, you can also just PP stall people. Like that's a very common and good set on Kyurem.
It's got base 125 HP. Like.
Yeah, sub roost.
It's dumb.
And then you can even fish for freezes. Like, I'm not saying it's a good strategy, but 10%, like, if you can afford to
that
just...
That kind of stuff comes up in draft, man. Your Scrafty would have eaten me alive if I hadn't had Icy Wind on a Dewpider.
Yeah.
Which is a brand new sentence.
Yeah, that is a brand new sentence. Shout out to Little Cup, dude.
Hell yeah.
You were one of the few people that shut it down.
I'll take that, man.
Yeah.
I went 6-6 and -8 and made the playoffs, so hell yeah. Or 5-5.
Yeah, good times. But Woodsy, speaking of Little Cup, he's the guy playing Jordy, so that just speaks to his coach skill, like.
Yeah, fuck the people.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, like.
I agree.
The only weakness with this team is dartboards.
Yeah, it's just like the lack of being able to like synergize as well as you would want, maybe.
Exactly.
But
I still think this team is threatening.
Oh yeah, for sure. But even still though, like. "Quote unquote" lack of synergy. His defensive type chart might be the best so far.
Oh, it is.
So sure. It is the best. So like, maybe it synergizes better than I'm thinking.
Yeah, true. And if you keep Woodsy around, like if his mons are alive, he can find a way to beat you.
Yep, he'll have an answer to like anything basically.
If we have to bring up a problem other than the dark type, like. Oh, never mind. Nope, I was gonna say his setup, but then I looked at Kyurem, Keldeo, and Deoxys. Come on, even Muck with Curse.
Dude, yeah, Muck is actually pretty good with Curse.
Oh, and he's got a fucking Babarrel, which is one of the best 1-point mons. Simple Swords Dance.
Yeah, and then you got Aqua Jet, and you just sweep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move it over to Jer. I'm done talking about Mr. Woodsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're over that guy. Cleanest team page? Question mark?
Yeah.
I like the color scheme very much. It's very appealing.
I didn't know how much I appreciated brown.
Same. Well, like Woodsy does such a good job with the colors. Like he basically gets the hex code from the logo and matches it. It's the attention to detail. Cool. Yeah, the attention to detail is amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't know he did the hex codes.
Yeah.
But I know he has an attention to that kind of thing because when a champion gets to pick their new color, he'll be like, if you can find the hex code, I can make it perfect. And when he made me a mod, he was like, hey, there are 2 base purples. Are you cool with that? If not, I'm down to do more work to make it like the perfect color. Like his attention to detail is awesome.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why Woods is like as successful as it is, and he's a huge part of it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Shout out Woodsy.
Shout out Woodsy. Yeah, we were just shit talking him, and then we just accidentally made that wholesome.
Yeah, I hate it when we do that.
Yeah, damn it.
Great guy. Met him in real life.
He seems like he'd be a nice guy. Unfortunately, he was like at his cousin's wedding when I went to Columbus.
Oh yeah.
It's,
Brutal choice.
yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Jer's team here. I love the pairing of Zapdos and Mega Hera.
Yeah.
I think getting Heracross or like any Buzzwole, any 4-time flying weak mod like with Zapdos or like with contact abilities is pretty good.
I totally.
Because like there's Hurricane isn't super common. Like yeah, it's out there, but I feel like flying types usually are physical. So having that static or flame body is really nice.
I totally agree.
But dude, even past that though, like Feeny and Latios. So Latios isn't grounded, which means it's. Does that mean its dragon type moves are reduced or no?
I don't think they are.
If that's true, that's insane.
I don't think they are.
I don't know if it's one of those things where if it's innate to everything or if you have to be grounded. I think for most terrains you have to be grounded, right?
I think you have to be grounded. I think it's like interesting.
But does it apply to the opponent? Because if it does that,
I think, dude, I don't know. Jesus.
Yeah, the terrains. I'm probably gonna Google this. We can talk about something else, but.
Well, if we're talking about something else real quick here, I had to fill in some type chart things. My index wasn't working, but so like I plugged in the type chart a little bit quickly. Like, if we're looking on balance on the type chart defensively again, he has an imbalance against Fairy, but he's got really good Fairy checks. Like Arcanine, I think is one of the most underrated mons in the draft. Just straight up, I think it's fantastic. His team doesn't give a shit about grass or electric types, which is really nice. On balance, like I think his biggest weakness would be rock. He has 2 really good flying checks. This is another team where I kind of wish there was some wish, but like also I don't really care about wish if I'm being honest, which is funny to say after criticizing other people for not having it. But yeah, he's got 3 mons weak to rock, and Steelix is his check. And having a 4 times resistance to rock is really nice. But like, you know, Steelix is one of those mons you would like wish. You just would. Feeny likes wish. Heracross likes wish.
Dude, yeah, it does. Do you realize Mega Heracross has 185 attack and skill link?
That's okay. So that's what I was kind of bringing up as the segue. It's like, yeah, he does have a slight rock weakness, but he's got Heracross to eat rocks alive. He's got Steelix to eat rocks alive.
Yeah.
Tapu Fini can eat rocks alive, given some setup.
Dude, Finny's one of the best setup mons, straight up.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you just Misty Terrain giving it 5 turns to not like you just can't toxic it. Like there's nothing you can defog it away, but
right,
you're having to spend a turn to do that, and by the time like maybe it's set up a sub then because it knows you're gonna defog, and then it just starts combining. Like it is such a fucking nightmare sometimes.
Yeah,
like
Tapu Fini I think is one of the best mons in draft, just straight up.
Yeah, it's
for all the reasons you just said.
Yeah, Water Fairy is like an amazing type combination. You can. They're 2 of the best types in the game, like standalone, and then you put it on one run. Like it's bulky, like 115 defense, 130 special defense. 70 HP is not amazing, but that's pretty.
It doesn't care.
It doesn't. That's very good. And then for being like that defensive. And then you've got 85 speed. Like that's not bad.
No, not at all.
It also gets taunt. Like, man.
If we're looking at weaknesses here, one other thing I want to mention real quick: Mega Heracross is a really great knockoff switch in. Tapu Fini can be if its item isn't super important, like if you're not running Choice Scarf, Trick. But like having Corsola, which just like almost necessitates knockoff with Arcanine, Mega Heracross, and Tapu Fini is a really nice combo.
Which, by the way, shout out to the dad pick, Corsola.
Oh god, why is Jared's dad so cute?
Yeah, that was so cool. That was a very cool moment.
Yeah, I love that a lot too. You could tell
Yeah.
he was like stoked to be in the video too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
Also, shout out Woods for being hot. By the way, we didn't mention Woodsy's picture or Jared's picture as of yet. Just a bunch of hot boys in Woods.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's like
It's kind of ridiculous.
it is pretty ridiculous. So okay, we settled on Raticate Lola as the fat rat, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that we settled that debate too.
He said it's the stupid fucking fat rat. Shout out Woodsy for not knowing that was Eradicate Lola, by the way.
Yeah, that was a swing and a miss for sure. I was with you the whole time. Like I already put it on the dock, I'm pretty sure, before that debate even started.
Hell yeah, you love to hear that.
So, like I knew I was on board on that debate.
I'm trying to nitpick a little bit here. Jerry's speed tiers, I guess. Like 110 is his highest. He doesn't have anything in the 60s. With an 84, an 85, a 77, and a 75. A 60 would be nice. I mean, it's not like the most important thing in the world. As Yordi said, speed tiers in the higher range are more important than speed tiers in the lower range.
Yeah,
But like, you know, something like a Pangaro, which didn't get drafted, so I don't know why I'm going to continue with this thought. But like, you know, that could do some work. Choice banded.
yeah, I definitely think like power creep is real because 110 being your fastest is no longer that fast. You know,
which would be awesome back in the day.
yeah, like, but now there's just a bunch of like 120s, 130, 140. So I do think it's a bummer that that's his fastest because I almost feel like he's gonna scarf something. He kind of has to most weeks.
Yeah, Latios and Feeney are going to get scarfed a lot, would be my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, they're really the only two that like to run Scarf. Zapdos definitely doesn't. Although I guess it could work.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
I don't think anything else really. Maybe Skuntank. If you ran it
Skuntank, I
offensive.
think, does run some Scarf sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess his speed tiers are his biggest weakness. How's his hazard removal? Feeney, Zapdos, Latios all get Defog.
Skuntank.
gets Defog. Heracross, Steelix, Corsola, and Lileep are his setters, I believe.
I do. It's kind of a weird thing because Heracross getting spikes is good, but man, it hurts to have a base 185 attack and not spend that turn clicking something to do damage.
I agree and disagree just because it if it's not your win con on a week, it forces so many switches.
Oh, for sure. So like, if they have her like. That's another good reason to have Zapdos, is it's a great Heracross switch in, actually. Like, one of the best.
Yeah, true.
Like, one of the best Heracross switch-ins, I would guess.
Yeah, I guess, like, what, Rock Blast is what it fears.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, Mega Heracross is nuts.
Mega Heracross is awesome. It has a kill leader emote for a reason.
Yeah, which, shout out to Shivzy, he's back this season.
Yeah, welcome back, Shivzy.
The man who made... Yeah, we got some... old-timers coming back.
Yeah, plug the
Love
old
to see
video
it.
of its greatest battles.
There we go. That was the first one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, like the speed tier thing is I do wish he had something faster. I don't think it's like terrible though, because he's got a pretty good coverage between like the 77 to 110. He's got everything he needs within that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he just got a lot of overlap. You know, 77, 75, 330s.
Oh, I didn't even realize he had 330s.
Yeah,
Well, hey,
23.
you're not running Trick Room on this guy, because Glacier will tear you a new one.
Yeah, true. I actually really like that a lot.
Yeah, that thing, if it wasn't pure Ice type, and had like, you know, the shitty qualities of an Ice type, defensive qualities of an Ice type, it would be good. It would be so good. Like it's already good.
Ice types.
It's still good, but man, just pure ice is probably the worst type in the game, right? Like it's got to be.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's so good as an offensive type, but
Bug ice is pretty bad.
yeah, bug might be worse.
But yeah, I mean, you know, Glastrier is also, it's so goddamn bulky. He can just run like Assault Vest. And you know what? I'm going to call this right now. Dark Horse, how many points is this worth?
I don't know.
Let's find it.
Spectre is like 15. I only know that because I was thinking about drafting it.
Glastrier is 10, so mid-tier MVP?
Yeah, I think it won it once too.
Hell yeah. I'm calling it right now. Dark Horse, mid-tier MVP.
I hate you for that.
Yeah, me too. It's okay.
Oh man.
So in terms of like keeping the rankings in mind, I would say I think this is just above Woodsy. Like I think this is a really good team. I think it's going to end up like top 10, having not looked at them yet. But I think Carnage, Yordi, and Seth's teams are better. Oh, and Piplup's too.
Damn. It's like that, huh?
I love Jared.
No, I know.
But
I might have to agree. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I honestly really like every team so far, even Woodsy's. You know, even though I ranked that one last.
yeah,
I just love his core. I think his like first 4 picks are so good together. And then
that's what I was gonna say. Look at his first 5 plus Arcanine. If he doesn't bring anything but those, top 5 team. But I think it's a little top heavy.
It might be, but you're also a top heavy drafter, you know.
Until this season, baby.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think he'll be. Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with you.
I will
although I think I had Seth over Carnage, but we mostly agree so far.
Yeah, I still think Carnage is my favorite, but I could also like.
It's really good.
Yeah, I think I could also be convinced of Seth's.
Yeah, there's some good drafts. That's why we're the World Organization of Draft Specialists, man.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Doesn't mean we're good, but we can draft the hell out of a team.
Yeah, we'll draft the shit out of it. Don't you worry. Next we have Cloud and the jersey. Is it Dweebles?
I say Dwebble, 2 B's.
Dwebble? Yeah, I do too. I just didn't know if it was right.
Oh, it's Rubble. Yeah, Dwebble.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Just figured that out for the first time live.
He has perhaps the best picture as
Oh
well.
my god, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I'll have to have him tell me the story sometime. But
I think I know the story, but just in case I'm wrong, I won't guess.
Okay. And actually, so Piplups had already made a transaction, and Cloud has too. So he dropped Duraludon and Ampharos. What did he pick up?
Togedemaru.
Okay.
And
Gudra, I think.
Gudra.
Okay. All right. I haven't actually. So, full disclosure, I was filling out the doc, but I haven't really looked at the teams closely.
Oh, me neither.
So I don't know. I didn't really remember this one too much, but I feel like Gengar and Weavile as a offensive combo is fucking terrifying.
And with Landorus just getting him in, gross.
Dude, Gengar and Weavile will just tear apart any team. What? There's no team that's going to be able to stand up to that defensively, right? There's no way.
No. And he's got Lando and Chestnut to absorb a lot of their weaknesses, which is
best Edgequake resistance in the game. Chestnut.
Hell yeah.
100%.
I also fully support the Gudra pickup.
Yeah.
That's a really nice combo with these guys.
Yeah, Gudra's pretty good value for where you can pick it. It's only 12 points or something.
Yeah. And Slurpuff does get Wish.
Dude, have you ever tried to
underdog.
break in a Salt Vest Gudra?
Yeah, it sucks.
90 HP, 150 special defense, and you just slap a vest on it. And it's like, you just don't take damage from special attacks, dude. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
It's so crazy.
And it's immune to grass.
Yeah.
So you
Which,
can't really seed it down.
Oh, and I love Volcanion. Just on its own. I don't think it gets drafted enough. Like,
I agree.
Fire and Water is such an interesting combination, and I don't know, you get like a cracked version of Scald, and Scald is arguably the most broken move in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you just get a stronger Scald. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's actually nuts.
Because it's like
We don't
one...
talk about Volcanion enough. You're right.
Dude, like, yeah, it's like Scald on steroids. And it's Stab.
Also, I'm looking at
110.
his defensive chart right now.
Pretty good.
I think he has a single type that he doesn't have more resistances than weaknesses to. Oh, he's got 2.
Those are...
Okay, 3. Ground, poison, and fire. But he has a Volcanion.
Well, and for ground, he has 2 levitators. Well,
Lando, Bronzong, Fearow.
yeah. And Chestnut is a really great resist for ground.
And poison, he has Bronzong and Togedemaru.
Yeah, so he's pretty good there.
And Lando. And Gengar. What the hell am I talking about? Jeez.
Yeah.
This is a really solid defensive team. Yeah, Slurpuff is going to carry a lot of weight as a Wish passer. Oh, he's Wigglytuff too. What the fuck? This team's awesome.
He can also webs with Slurpuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of scary.
Band your Weavile, specs your Gengar. Band your Lando, specs your Volcanion. Oh my god, dude, this team rules.
Yeah, I like this team. He was saying he felt like it didn't have a lot of direction, but I disagree. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's a really good improviser. So like maybe he didn't have a plan going in.
Yeah.
But this draft came together really well.
I'm actually sad that he dropped Mega Ampharos though, because I have like a special place for it in my heart, because it's like on my first draft team, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought it was just because you loved Conditioner.
I do, yeah. L'Oreal Paris, that's my shit, dude. No, but Mega Amp's a cool mod. I feel like, I don't know, Togedemaru and Gudra, like those are good pickups though. I think it makes that makes the team better, but
Togedemaru also gets Wish.
yeah.
Dude, what are you planning for against this team?
Like everything.
Yeah, like
that's the beauty too of drafting a mon like Lando T, is that
yeah,
when monsters have that much roll compression, the rest of your team can just work so much better.
right. I mean, look at all of them. Is Lando Scarf? Is it defensive? Is it Spadef? Is it band? Is it gravity setup? Gengar sub disable, Specs, Scarf, Weavile. You know it's gonna hit shit. Slurpuff though, Belly Drum, Webs, Wish, Volcanion, Defog, Specs, Scarf.
Subtoxic is really good on Volcanion.
Yeah. Bronzong, is it running Heat Proof or Levitate? Togedemaru, is it going for Flinch Hacks or Wishing? Chestnut, is it Belly Drum? Is it Spikes? Gudra, Assault Vest, Specs? Dude, like, you can't prep against this team.
Do you realize Volcanion is a fire type that just beats waters because it has water absorb? And
It annihilates.
and water types love to run ice, and it 4 times resist it.
Yeah, Volcanion's really good.
Yeah, so like unless it's, I don't know, water ground like Seismitoad or something, it probably wants nothing to do with Volcanion.
He has 4 momentum users, I want to say. Lando, Togedemaru gets U-turn, Wigglytuff gets teleport, Fearow gets U-turn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is a really good team, man.
Speed tiers are pretty solid, actually. Looking at it,
I'll switch over.
he's got really everything between like 70 to 125. He's pretty solid. Like, got spaced out and.
Yeah, because he has good scarfers. Because I don't think 110 covers 125. Let me check real quick, but he's got really good scarfers anyway.
He's got 33 bronze on. I think his speed tiers are excellent. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I'm just trying to nitpick here.
Yeah. Well, I just want to. I wasn't thinking about speed tiers, and then I started looking at them and like, yeah, those are good. Like,
oh no, 110 perfectly covers 125. It beats it. It beats a timid 110 Gengar beats an adamant 125 Weavile by 1 point. His speed tiers are excellent.
Yeah.
Wow,
this team's good.
I like this team a lot.
Yeah, and I like that. Like, I think all 11 are good. I mean, even Firo has weeks where it could, because 100 base speed, like you can work with that, you know.
Yeah.
90 attack, not bad.
And it gets sniper, so like just run a scope lens. That 90 attack stat is all of a sudden much scarier.
Man.
He also has really high stats on everything. Like if you go down his like highest stat totals, 140 HP, 145 attack, 122 defense, 130 special attack, 150 spadef, 125 speed. Like all of his stats top out at
pretty
a really high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I've said this to him. I don't know if I've said it on a YouTube video before. I think I have, but Cloud has like this insane utility creativity. Like I think I did mention this on the last video we did. But like at the time of that video, the kill leader in a league he was in was his Xatu because he kept running like reflect type.
Yeah, he brings the heat, dude. It's only a matter of time before he wins Heat Miser. Like,
yeah, I honestly can't believe he hasn't yet. I think he's just like kind of flying under the radar.
Well, he's only played 2 seasons, to be fair, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So give it time. We'll see.
Yeah. I really like this team.
Yeah. So, like, not to spoil anything, but the next 2 teams we're about to look at are not going to be. We'll get into it, but the draft themes are there. So this is a tough conference. Like, not even counting the next 2 we're going to look at. Like, I felt like every team we looked at was super strong. Like,
oh my god,
yeah. I don't know where I would place this one. This one would probably be like, man.
Dude, it might be my favorite so far.
Yeah, I might. It's like top 3 for me, I think. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to sort it out later. It's somewhere up there.
Yeah,
it's so close.
Do a thing with that power ranking stock at the end.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. It's somewhere up there. Like, it's gotta be.
Yeah, we're getting too far into it now that I don't have every team readily in my mind anymore. But like right now, maybe it's recency bias. I think this is my favorite team so far.
All right, man. We have the Dutch Zipmontops. And I just want to ask your opinion on the logo. What are your thoughts?
I think this is the best logo in the league, straight up.
It's definitely the most creative, and
dude, it's fucking hilarious. Like,
this is the type of content you only get in Woods.
There are 3 things I bitch about in Woods more than anything, other than like, you know what? Never mind. There are 3 things I bitch about: Hitmontop being an Ugo, drink water over Coke, and don't call hot dogs glizzy. He covered all 3 of those, and just to make sure, the hot dog he has me holding has glizzy over it. Brilliant logo.
Yeah, and it's just funny that Zipmontop works like Zip and Hit is so close to each other. Like, it's a beautiful logo.
It's hilarious.
Well done, TRK. Well done.
Yeah, top of the charts just for that.
Well, and then to take things even a step further, he changed his name to Alex in the Discord. And his draft theme, if you haven't noticed, is Hydro Homies. It's drink water.
Yeah.
And
Which
okay,
also, shout out him.
also yes, so he is. I don't know if he's being serious or if it's a bit. I hope it's serious. He says he is trying to stop drinking soda and he's going to drink more water. And he was
Let's
put.
just assume it's serious, so he'll feel like an asshole if it's not right now.
I think it was serious, but
I think it was too.
he also does a lot of bits, so I don't know. You know, that's
That's true.
that's
One of the
thing.
funniest guys in Woods. I'll give him a shout out for that.
Yeah. And like let's. I don't know what to say about this team. It's not good. It's, like I don't think I'm being mean by saying that. I think he would tell you it's not good. I think if you asked any reasonable person, they would say it's not good.
Well, I can shed a little light on that. Before it was deemed a Hydro Homie draft, he told me he wanted to draft Trash Rain with no natural setter. That's what he told me.
I mean, he's got that.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Nailed it.
Like, huge ghost weakness, huge psychic weakness.
Dude, yeah, he does. What he does
Huge
not
grass
have.
weakness.
He doesn't have switch-ins.
Huge electric weakness. He doesn't give a shit about fire types, let me tell you. Or water types.
What does he do against freeze dry?
Bronzor.
Exactly.
Does he play Woods?
He does week 3.
Yeah. Also, shout out his picture, though. Hilarious.
Yes, shout out. Looking good.
But here's what I'm going to say. I agree. This team on paper, not very good.
Look at his speed tiers.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
I agree. On paper, not very good. But what, his first season in the league, he drafted nothing higher than 10 points and forfeited his round 1 playoff game. But, like,
Made the
I think he could have made
playoffs.
semis.
I don't think that was not his first season, but he
First season with me, yeah. First
Okay.
season
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. No, he went low tier and made playoffs. No, like if there's anyone who can make it work, it's him, right? And he's going to win games. Like he is going to beat people and make them feel bad about themselves. I know that's not his intent, but like he's gonna beat you with shitty manual rain, and you're gonna feel bad.
He's
Like-
not even gonna run rain. You're gonna prep for it, and he's not gonna run it.
I think he's still gonna beat you. Like
Do you have any hail setters outside of Arctivish? Because that could get some kills.
it makes me sad to say too because he has Poliwrath on his team, but I mean, come on. Like Poliwrath on an actual rain team would be good, and it's still like I'm not gonna talk shit on Poliwrath, man. It's a good mod. It's underrated, but
Do you want me to? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, you
I
can.
love Poliwrath.
You can.
No, I love Poliwrath.
You can. I'm just not going to.
I also do think that Poliwrath is going to be really important for his team.
Oh yeah,
Just
like
at the BSDs.
he's got a few swift swimmers, but Poliwrath is like it'll just end the game if you don't have a like if he gets a belly drum up in rain. Good night.
Yeah,
'Cause-
100%. And he ran train on us with Belly Drum Zard with his low tier draft. So I mean, I could see him doing that again.
Yeah, it like Poliwrath gets Ice Punch. It gets Darkest Lariat. It gets obviously stab moves. Its coverage is actually really good. It hits most things that it would need to.
Yeah.
So like in draft, you can prepare for it and like. Yeah,
and
it's,
look,
it's
dude,
good.
if you're gonna get 7 Mons of one type, you could do a lot worse than water.
True. Yeah, water's one of the better types if you're gonna almost mono water it.
Yeah, and then he's got Spore with Parasect. He's got. You don't want to click Volt Switch against Lantern or Gastrodon. They're gonna get hurt a little bit by electric types with grass coverage, of which there are kind of a lot.
I love that he first picked Parasect.
Yeah, which by the way, I brought this up to Woodsy. Parasect should not be 1 point. Getting Spore alone should be a 3-point mod.
I
Not
kind
that it
of
would have fucked up his budget, but
yeah, no, I kind of agree, but it's not a big deal. We're gonna like totally revamp it for the next season, like when we go to season 9. No, I know, but you're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
It's CRK. I think this team is worse than his low tier draft just because it's based around a theme which is a little bit harder on low tier mons. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make playoffs after the last time he made playoffs with a
Yeah, no,
yeah.
like I said, he's gonna at least win some games.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's too good to not. And is the team bad on paper? Yes, but it's still functional. Like you can still make it work. Like
Yeah,
just
you can see it.
yeah, like just because we're saying it's not, maybe on the same level as some of the other drafts, it doesn't mean it's like unwinnable with. You could still
Also,
win.
it's so badass that he plays Spire week 1.
Oh my god, yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Which actually, yeah, we should transition to that.
Boom.
So Spire had he has similar drafts. It's not quite to that level.
Right.
It's just like this is your typical Spire draft.
He drafts what he wants. Shout out to the Heatmore thing. Cloud called it trash, so he drafted it.
Immediately, yeah. And then after that pick, he picked a lot of his favorites that he likes to use. So like everyone knows he loves Rampardos, Venusaur, Machamp, Hypno.
Right.
I think Mega Beedrill's his favorite. Mega. These are all mons that he talks about using a lot and does use a lot. So yeah, I mean this is just your typical Spire draft. He's gonna do what he always does. He's gonna beat people running some creative sets.
Also,
And,
one of the things we dinged him for last time was a lack of fire or electric resists. Not the best solution in the world, but Mantine, Kabutops, Rampardos all resist fire. Manectric, you don't want to click Volt Switch against Spire with a Manectric. For example, he's gonna hit you with that +1 attack boost.
yeah,
And Masquerain, I think, is actually kind of huge for this draft.
Masquerain is really slept on, to be honest.
Yeah.
Quiver Dance and Sticky Web are like two of the best moves in the game, and having to prep for both is not very fun.
Yeah, dude, and like look at banded Rampardos with webs.
Yeah, or just like he loves the special attacking Rampardos as well
Mixed.
with sheer force. Yeah. Yeah, I think Mega Beedrill is like just a really good draft mod. You just like click U-turn a bunch, and it's very effective. Very, very effective.
I broke my type coverage thing. Sorry, that's why I got quiet.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, it's broken. I don't know if I can do.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't expect you to do it the whole time. You said you were gonna stop after a while anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
We can wing it.
We can wing it and still like have a good feel for what they're like, what they would be weak against or whatever.
I'm gonna try and fix it, but
It's
I'd rather talk.
Yeah, you can just talk. It's fine. It's fine. So I don't know. I would put Spire like above TRK, but
Yeah,
that like that's like it's never disrespect to Spire. It's just on paper it's not like on the same level. And if you look at his budget, it makes sense, right? Because how many points did he leave on the table? 45.
out of 110.
Yeah, he only used 65. TRK used 48. So like it makes sense the power level. So
Right.
yeah, and it's just kind of like you could just tell like some of the mons are lower power level, but if anything though, like he's like experts at using these. Like he knows like how to maximize. He knows how to maximize and get the most out of all of these because he uses them a lot.
A lot of manual weather. I'm expecting a lot of like crazy other stuff. Man doesn't even calc.
No, he's raw feel, and that's even that makes him even scarier.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just know that this team is scary. In his hands, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Rampardos 165 attack. Like that's gonna, especially behind webs or a scarf or like there's lots of things he can do.
And his speed tiers aren't Not terrible.
He's got a big gap like Manectric to Beedrill,
Yeah.
and other than that, they're okay. Yeah.
This team is weak to priority. Machamp does get its own.
It's so sad that Champ doesn't get like Mach Punch.
Yeah.
Well, it gets Bullet Punch, but not Mach Punch. Come on.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's gonna, look at like Sash Heatmore for example. Take a hit, lower defense, send in Ramp, send in Beedrill, send in Kabutops. This team, he's got ways to win, straight up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Similar to TRK. Like he's gonna win games. He just made playoffs in Little Cup, and his Little Cup team had Bulbasaur, and like this is literally like his Little Cup team actually. Now that I think about that, holy shit!
Oh my god, this is his Little Cup.
This is his Little Cup team. How did I not know? I just put it together.
It's straight up his Little Cup team.
I have to go like. What?
Yeah, it's his Little Cup team plus Heatmore because Cloud talks shit.
I was thinking like, wait, there's like 3 Mons. Wait, there's 4, 5. Oh my god, every Mon he used in on Little Cup, like.
Little Cup plus Heatmore, hell yeah.
All right, Little Cup's not the same, but he did make playoffs with this team, so.
Dude, I think it's drafted in the same order too.
So clearly he can make playoffs. It translates. All right.
Yep. Easy.
Jeez, that's so cool. Because he drafted Weedle. Oh my god, dude, he planned this. He had to have planned this.
Oh, he
like when it was Little Cup, he was like, "All right, I'm gonna draft a team and then draft the evolved forms from." Oh my god, this guy. That's so cool. All right, so now we get to yours truly. We're finally at the second half, by the way. How long have we been
we're
recording?
halfway through. What's the time on?
I think we're almost at 2 hours.
Hell yeah! Here we go.
So I also did a darts draft. I will say I feel like I got luckier than Woodsy, at least at the start of the draft.
You just kept throwing 15s, dog.
Yeah. So the third pick, Magnezone, was a bullseye, so I could pick whatever. And then
Actually.
I did change Barraskewda from 15 to 13 also.
Oh, you didn't have to admit that.
Yeah. No, I don't care. Like, I needed the extra points, dude. And I didn't, like, all the 15s I didn't want. There's only, like, a couple that I could use. And none of them were fitting. But anyways, I'll talk about the team a little bit.
Yeah, do that.
So basically, I threw a 12, and Mega Alt was the only thing in that entire column that I, 1, hadn't used, and 2, really wanted to use. And I figured, like, I didn't know, like, what my dart throws were going to be, so I just wanted to get my Mega out of the way, because I didn't know, like, if I was going to be able to get a Mega I wanted after that, so I just figured I'd do that. Then I hit a 19, which there's only 3 of them, and they were picked by round 2. So I just picked something in 18 and picked Mew. It's one of my favorite draft ones that I've ever used.
It's also a great combo with Mega Alt.
Yeah, like, Mega Alt's a good knockoff switch-in, which, Mew appreciates.
Bug resist, too.
Yeah, and a Dark resist. Dark, Bug. Mew doesn't really help Alt, though, I guess.
I disagree. Mega Alt really likes, like, hazard support and status spreading.
Well, I just mean, like, defensively. Like the typings.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not wrong. Like, I think they're Mew, obviously, but Mega Alt's also up there in terms of how versatile it is.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty fun pairing. Just to, I enjoy, like, I think one of the best things you can do in drafts is to just make the other opponent, like, when they have to prep for you, like, they just rub their temples, like
just freeze up.
The more of a headache you can make your team to prep against, the better,
Oh, 100%.
So that was part of the thought process for getting those two. And then, so my third round I hit a bullseye. It was the only one I hit, but that meant I could pick anything.
Right.
So I went zone because I felt like I needed to get a good steel type, and I've never gotten to use it, and I've like wanted to for a while. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and like basically just like I know people will run shed shell a lot if it threatens their steel, but being able to potentially do that for like Mega Alt is huge.
But also, like, you know, we talk a lot about electric types with water or grass coverage. A lot of them don't resist steel.
True.
Like, good predictions. And, you know, Volt Switch is walled by ground types for sure, but it also gets teleport.
I also love the Iron Defense body press set. Is pretty good in certain
100%.
matchups.
Zone is very good.
Yeah, look, I felt like basically my overview on the draft is I felt like my first four was a really good core, and then I just picked a bunch of mods after that I wanted to use.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily like synergize the best, probably, but
I would tell you if my theory crafting sheet worked.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, Terrakion is basically like a don't click knockoff mod, and that's great to have with Mew. But
so is Mega Altaria.
Yeah, and so like I never used Terrakion either, and rock fighting is really hard to switch into.
Yeah, I'm using it right now, and Terrakion is an absolute thug.
Yeah, I like its speed
You have a lot
too.
of absolute thugs, dude. Terrakion,
Yeah.
Honchkrow, Barraskewda, Exploud.
Yeah, I definitely like the middle of my draft just started picking things that could punch holes. Like that was kind of the idea.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got really good setup mons to facilitate that. Terrakion, Mew, Mega Altaria are really threatening sweepers. So to have things like Barraskewda and Exploud to soften those up is really nice.
Yeah, well, dude, I don't know, man. There's so much. I feel like I was overthinking it the whole time too, to be honest. Because
Your words.
yeah, you probably disagree, but I was coming to you a lot for help. I was like, man, I don't. Because the thing is, like, I forced myself to pick in the order of my dart throws.
Right.
So there were some mods that I wanted that got away. Like, basically I knew I wanted them, but I was like, there's probably no chance they make it that far, you know?
Right.
So I basically had to give up and, like, adapt, and it was fun.
No, I like your team, though. It has both bulk and wall breaking. And then, you know, this is not even talking about, like, the setup potential. Mew, Mega Altaria, Terrakion, sometimes all you have to do is click Rock Polish. Like,
Yeah, it gets
one
that.
29 attack with that stab combo?
Yeah.
It's gross.
One, Honchkrow can potentially snowball with Moxie. Like, it's slow, but yeah.
I mean, it's a decent Scarfer, though. Like, if somebody... Like, there's a lot of... We've talked about, like, the high ends of a lot of people's speed tiers. Like, I remember Jer, for example, was like 115 or 110, somewhere around there. I know mine is 130, for example. Honchkrow is a very usable Scarfer in this draft.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, it does get Sucker Punch, which is nice.
Yeah.
Shout
Shout out Woodsy.
out Woodsy. Yeah, it gets Sucker Punch, by the way. Okay, so I drafted Venomoth, and then I, like, really started to look at it more. And Tinted Lens Quiver Dance is actually very threatening. Like, it gets
90-90. Yeah.
Yeah, you get like 2 boosts up, and you just start like, then what? Like,
I think this is a direct quote from something I said, but Jer whooped my ass. Not even with Quiver Dance. It was just a standard Life Orb, 4 attacks, Venomoth, and it beat my ass.
Yeah, no, you can also just like Specs or Life Orb, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's obviously it also struggles with steel types like Alt does, but then I've got Magnezone.
Yeah.
Xploud appreciates steel types being gone because it just wants to click Boom Burst a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
and it can also run Fire Blast or Focus Blast if it needs to.
Yeah.
Even offensive Xploud is pretty okay. Like,
I will say my team isn't the best defensively.
Oh, sorry. When I
Like-
said offensive, I meant physical attacking. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just like thinking about it now, like as I'm looking at it. Like I have Hippo, which is very bulky.
No, you actually do have like.
I have
This is
some.
another thing where it's like you don't know what set anybody's gonna bring, and like Mew is the ultimate mon for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't usually draft this many glass cannons, but Terrakion through XCloud, they all basically qualify as a glass cannon.
And offense is king in draft. Like I'll say it.
Yeah,
I think a good
really-
defensive backbone is important, but even your defensive mons, you want to have some offensive utility. I don't see a single mon of yours that doesn't have that because like Hippowdon has a pretty big attack stat. 112 is really good for a wall,
Yeah, that's true.
and it gets Edgequake.
And it gets the Elemental Fangs actually,
Exactly.
which is pretty huge. So I can take Ice Fang against Gliscor per se.
Even Whirlwind Hippowdon or like Roar on other mons too. It's gonna be really nice for you because like if there's a big weakness, it's like other teams setting up.
Yeah,
Like something with good coverage, getting a speed boost or an attack boost if it's already faster than your mons is going to be a problem. Don't get me wrong. But like being able to roar that out, Hippowdon is borderline unkillable with the right coverage options.
Yeah, if it's at full health.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think your Dart draft is better than Woods' Dart draft.
Eat shit, Nate. That's right. How much better? How much better?
One
Let's hear it.
spot in the power rankings better.
Okay. So that's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'll take it. Hey, if I'm above Woodsy, I'll take it.
Yeah.
No, that's funny.
A Vic is a Vic.
True. All right. Next, we're looking at Ash Ketchup. So his theme, there's so many themes in drafts in Woods, but he drafted mons that Ash is used in the anime, and I think there was also like he had to catch them himself, not like be given it or something. I guess not true because he got Pikachu.
I think it was like he and I were DMing about it. He just posted me a list of mons Ash had used because Greninja was like kind of a gift.
Yeah, well, and so is Pikachu, so that doesn't make sense.
Mr. Mime also belongs to his mother, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's okay. I think,
Anyway.
yeah, I think compared to, like, his other draft themes, which I love, this one's definitely, like, better on paper. Because it's not so one-dimensional.
A very respectable drafter in IBL was hitting me up. He had access to the doc, and he was like, "Yo, Uzi's team is pretty cool." And I was like, "Yeah, he's drafting Ash." And he goes, "No, he's not. Like, that's a good fucking team."
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, like, imagine if he could have gotten Ash Greninja, too.
Oh my god.
I know, like, no, we weren't going to allow that. Or Protein, but...
Gross.
Like, honestly, Greninja doesn't need those to be good still. Like, obviously it would be better, but...
I love a good offensive hazard setter, too, and Greninja's a really good one because its coverage is ridiculous.
So is Lycanroc with the rocks.
Totally agreed.
Yeah, I mean, this seems solid. Like, I think he'll do well with it. He always does well, regardless of his teams anyway, but...
Yeah. His speed tiers are a little bit funky, but he's got a lot of priority, too. Like, Dragonite, Greninja, Donphan, Lycanroc, Surfetched, Pikachu. Holy shit, he's got a ton of priority.
I don't know. I kind of like his speed tiers, though. I feel like he's got mostly everything covered.
Oh, shit, I missed the 110. Yeah.
Yeah, 110. Greninja's his fastest. That's fine.
122 is not that bad.
Dude, and Dragonite Melmetal, I mean, that's just he didn't get a fairy to complement it. I mean, I'm assuming
Did Mr. Mime.
Oh, hey, okay. I always forget that Mime is a fairy type.
Yeah, it wasn't in your defense.
No, I know, but like it also just doesn't look like a fairy type to me.
No, it's just creepy.
Yeah. But I don't know. Melmetal and Dragonite, that's a very good combo. Like those two mons in their own right are just super, super good in drafts.
Oh, an insane core, and he's actually got like he could very easily win the hazard matchups. Donphan and Lycanroc are his setters, I believe, but Yard, Surfetched, Donphan, Dragonite all get. Oh, Greninja gets spikes too, but those four are his removers too. I don't know, does Purple get Defog?
I feel like Donphan is the best one at it, or like the one you would want doing it the most.
Yeah, for sure.
And okay, I used Lycanroc, but not Dusk. Even base Lycanroc was insane, so I can't even imagine what he's gonna do with Dusk.
Oh my god, yeah.
That thing gets insane coverage.
Yeah, this is another team with just a huge unpredictability quotient. You know what I mean? Like, Lycanroc Dusk is a terrifying sweeper and like rocks lead with Endeavor.
Yeah. Ask Ian about that.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Ian. What up?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think this team is really good. I think this is so far. So what we had: Carnage, Yordi, Seth, and Piplups all had really good teams. I don't know. I think this could slot into the top 3.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would say I don't know. It's probably around like 6 or 7 for me. Even though it's really solid. But
what are you switching into Yard and Melmetal, and then like if you do, Dragonite can set up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I just don't think Sun is like very good for his team.
Oh no, it was just because like I told him you should fudge it and get a Mega Charizard, and Yard looks more like Charizard than
X. Yeah. Well, and he had Dragonite. No, he was sticking with the theme. That's fine. I just don't think his team benefits from Sun outside of Charizard, like at all.
Yeah.
Like it weakens Greninja's water moves. His mons just take more damage from fire.
That's true.
Because he doesn't.
His fire resistance are somewhat lacking actually outside of Dragonite.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like Charizard almost hurts him. Like.
Oh, Snorlax has thick fat though.
Yeah, but it's negated by Sun.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
So. Like, yeah, Charizard obviously benefits from it. It's terrifying to deal with that in Sun. But outside of that, like, his team really doesn't appreciate it too much.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of, like, U-turn deterrence. Knockoff kind of hurts. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, like, I still think it's a good team, and it's better than when he does, like, Mono Dark or something, because those teams are so...
Dark is scary.
Yeah, no, he drafts scary teams, but they have like giant weaknesses as a result.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I don't think this one has a huge I'm being nitpicky, right?
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah, like
I've been nitpicky the whole time. I'm not.
Yeah.
Disparaging that.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't think it's top 3.
I sold you on it.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
I looked at it a little bit more closely. There are some weaknesses here. I'm also drinking.
Oh, yeah, you're good, man. Very nice. Yeah, I keep hearing you crack them open every now and then.
I've slowed down.
Yeah. Hey, do what you want, man. It's Sunday. Pretty soon we're gonna have football back. It's gonna be great.
Oh my god, yeah! I bought Peacock just for soccer and Sunday Night Football.
Dude, I'm excited. We don't get into football now because I'll just roast you.
You just be a dick.
Yeah. Speaking of dicks, look at the next team we're covering.
Dude, like, you know how you just kind of talked about it for a little bit? There is one theme to this team, which is I just kept crawling and it just kept working. My entire draft theme was Slowbro 1, Infernape 2, and then here come Coco and Gliscor.
Yes,
I'm
I
really happy with the team.
I'm starting to think you're onto something with the draft strategy of like taking one or two mons you really want, and then just picking all the broken shit that falls to you. Because inevitably there are going to be a few broken things, not broken, but like really good mons that just fall.
Yeah, dude, it's woods. I mean, we've talked about TRK, we've talked about Spire. Like, some dudes just draft like some theme you'll never think about. And then, you know, my whole theme for this draft was just Gen 8 bucket list. Before Gen 8 ends, I've talked about Slowbro and Infernape for months. So I decided I was taking those. And then I lucked into Koko and Gliscor. I have no idea how the hell those two fell to 3 and 4.
Yeah, Coco's like a staple round 1 pick usually, and
Yeah,
Gliscor usually goes like by round 2. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe
it's like the perfect combo to whatever offensive mon you pick round 1.
yeah. Yeah, so like we've been talking about versatility, but like your first 4 mons are just that, like incredibly versatile. And Fernape is maybe the best mixed attacker there is, like straight up.
Yeah, it's up there. It gets
Like-
insane coverage. It prefers the physical side, I'd say, but like it can run either for sure.
Right. But yeah, this team is really good, dude. You can talk about it some more since you're the coach.
Honestly, like it just kind of fell into me. Like, I can explain some of the reasoning behind some of the picks. Like, after round 4, I realized that my two biggest weaknesses were Fairy and Ghost. So I went Sakataka because it can just kind of womp things, and like I was also lacking actually like really high offensive stats that you want to use. Like, Infernape has insane coverage, but it's 104 on both sides. Koko has 115 attack, but like it usually runs special. So I wanted some just like bigger base stat totals. So I picked up a 131, 211 attack and defense Stakataka just because it can eat fairies alive. Mega Kang has 125 attack, and it was probably the best ghost immunity left.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, after that, I was honestly just like focusing. I had momentum out the ass. I had hazards out the ass. I had pretty good hazard clearing because Gliscor is good at both, and Fernape and Koko can set and clear respectively, but you don't want them doing it all the time. So Stakataka is also a rock setter. You know, it can run Fizdef body press. It can run Trick Room. Decidueye I picked up because it was the best ghost and grass left with Defog, but it also gets U-turn. Yeah, I was just looking. I don't know. I just kind of like turn by turned it, and I'm really happy with this team. I think Gabite is a good value pick. I think Swalot is a good value pick. That one's been hard to prep for before, and Vespiquen is my favorite 1-point mon. I just needed another ground immunity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's not much to say about this team. It's just like kind of happened.
It's very solid. I'll say that. Like, it's gonna be. We're in the same like conference, so I know we play at some point.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nightmare to prep for that.
Yeah, we play week 4.
I feel like you could bring your top 6 like every week, and it would be fine. You know, that's how a lot of your drafts go, though.
Yeah, but I think this one's more balanced than most of them.
I do think like Decidueye. How do other Decky Dewey? Is that how some people say that?
It's Decidueye, but Decky Dewey is the funnier way.
Yeah, I think Decky Dewey and Sneasel are both pretty good.
Well, I really wanted Weavile with my 3rd pick, but it got sniped, and then Tapu Koko was there. I used Tapu Koko last draft. I had no plans to use it whatsoever. It just kind of happened. Dude, I don't know. I'm really happy with this team. I think like this might be the best draft I've ever had, and I think luck played a lot into that. Like, my Mega Scizor draft was really good too, but there was a lot of luck there as well. It just kind of happened.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't want to like toot my own horn. I really like this team. I'm really excited to use it.
Yeah, no, you should be.
I think I'm gonna have to ban things. Like, I'm gonna have to choice things to have real wall breaking. But like, Mega Kangaskhan under Electric Terrain is pretty scary.
Well, you were talking about it too. Infernape Iron Fist with Thunder Punch and Terrain could be scary.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I am really happy with this draft.
No, you should be. I think I don't know. Slowbro doesn't appreciate the terrain so much.
Yeah,
Your
it was a bad
ground,
score.
your ground type, yeah, you have Gliscor. You also have Gabite, but at least you have a ground type to block like strong electric moves.
Right.
Decidueye resists electric. Like you're probably doing okay.
Yeah, Electric could
I
do
don't
some
know.
work.
Like you probably
Electric
don't
has
have
good
the.
coverage.
Yeah, they usually have good coverage. You're talking about electric types.
Yeah, Raikou, for example, could be a problem for sure.
Yeah, but like mods like that are always a problem.
That's true.
But I mean, yeah. Um, yeah, it's just really solid. I would rank it fairly high. Like, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it is. It is up there.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about my own teams. So.
Yeah, I am too. Like at least when it comes to ranking them against others. Like I.
Oh, I will say one thing though. I paid a lot of attention to my speed tiers this draft, and my speed tiers are really solid.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, 130. Like Coco being your fastest is good. I feel like you at least need something in the 120s. Like nowadays.
115 covers 130. I did the math.
Oh no, not you. I just mean like for your fastest. Like generally speaking.
I
Like
see.
I think you should at least try to get something 120 or faster. Whereas like I don't know, maybe back in Gen 7 or Gen 6 that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, no, totally agreed.
But yeah, you did really well in your speed tiers because you have a 30, a 40, 55. Yeah, yours is like super good.
Yeah, I was looking for something in the 60s, but like points are points. Something's not going to be perfect. I oh no, I have 3 knockoff users, like good ones.
Yeah, this team is nightmarish.
Yeah, I wish it had like me. I love a good like dedicated wall breaker, and like I'm gonna want. Part of the reason I liked Mega Kangaskhan with Slowbro and Gliscor is they just kind of heal themselves by existing. So I wasn't too worried about my Wish user being like super important because Decidueye gets Roost too.
Coco gets Roost. Ape gets Slack Off.
Yeah, shit.
Vespiquen can Roost. Like, you have healing out the ass. You're good there.
Seems kind of my nut, dude. I have a lot of priority.
Yeah, this team's solid, man.
Seems kind of my nut. This is exactly what I talk about in Redacted.
Yeah, it is. I like that you do it for that. Yeah, I'd say this is top 3. I don't know. It's really hard to nitpick things. Like the electric terrain for Slowbro, like that's a nitpicky thing.
Right.
Like I'm just grasping for things to like be like, well, maybe that's a weakness.
I think on DraftLeague.nl too, like Coco and Slowbro often get used together. Like you don't want Slowbro taking a special electric type move anyway.
Your first 4 mons also all generate momentum.
Yeah.
And your electric one gets U-turn, which I know you love.
That is one of my favorite things in the world. Electric types with U-turn.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh no, I know one thing I was kind of worried about. My team lacks a little bit of special bulk.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like run Gliscor, especially bulky or Slowbro or something.
Which you kind of do anyway.
Yeah, but they're not like the best special walls. Like they're good, but
No.
they're better usually physical bulky.
Yeah. I just like I said, like there was no plan to this team. It just happened.
You could slap an AV on Bro. Like,
that's pretty common, yeah.
Yeah, like that's pretty good, especially with Regenerator. Like,
a 95-80 special bulk isn't bad. It's weak to a lot of special types, which I think is why it's more used on ladder than Slowking.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's go on to Shivzy. the man, the myth, the legend returns.
The Birmingham Blissies.
I am curious to see how he does. He played his first season in Woods. He got to the ship, and then the next season I think he missed playoffs. So he had two pretty different results.
We should link that Woods Greatest Battle video in the description.
Sure. It is. It's definitely worth the watch. I mean, at least seeing the replay, like, yeah. But oh, wait a second. He actually made transactions.
Yeah.
So he didn't originally draft Chansey and Servine. He swapped out Chansey for Blissey.
He did originally draft Chansey and Servine and swap them out for Blissey and I'll check.
Probably Illumise. I think points wise, that's the only one that works.
Yep, you were right.
Yeah, this looks like I've seen some Shivsy drafts. This looks like a typical Shivsy draft. He's got a lot of bulk, but he also drafts some threats around it, like Mega Gallade or Crocodile or Feraligatr. Like Feraligatr can sometimes win off of one Dragon Dance.
Yeah, he likes to draft like coverage heavy offensive mons. I think Mega Gallade works better on a bulk heavy draft than some of his other drafts have, because that's another, like, it's a 19-point mon for a reason. It gets every move it could possibly want.
Yeah, it fell in the draft pretty far. It honestly doesn't get drafted early all the time, but with it being one of 3 19-point mons, like, for it to fall to, like, what, pick 13?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice for him.
Yeah, I'm going to look up his speed tiers real quick, just like math-wise, because he goes 115 to 92, I believe.
He's got 123.
Yeah, I mean, like, after 123.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So let's see if this
Oh,
works.
man, I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah, me too, a little bit. Yeah, so, there's a gap there. 115 to 92 is a pretty sizable gap.
Yeah. It's not, like, too bad, but yeah, base 100s, like, around there. Could
Dude,
be a
how the
problem.
fuck does Specs do 10-hour videos?
I don't know, but we're pretty far in.
Yeah. God, one 10-hour video is just ridiculous. Shout out to Specs.
Yeah, he's the GOAT for that, to be honest.
Yeah, Shivsy has, like, some of the most classic defensive cores, like Skarn Bliss, for example.
Skarn Bliss with the Clefable. Yeah, that's well, and then he's got Magneton.
Yeah.
So he can also do the thing that I can do. He can trap steals.
Yeah.
Like,
and with his insane borderline stall core, you're gonna want to run choice items to stall break.
Huh. Yeah, his team's going to be hard to break, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, man, I don't know. I am not looking forward to playing it.
No, it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I actually, like, I am looking forward to playing it. I just mean, like, it's going to be a challenge. That's for sure.
Yeah, I love me some Shivsy, don't get me wrong. I play him week 3. Oh, you play him week 2.
Nice. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, I play Mandem week 1. That's right. He messaged me over.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we'll get to Mandem in a little bit. But, yeah, I don't know what to really say about this team. I just feel like it's really solid. Like you mentioned, speed tiers being, like, outside of that gap, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I just think, like, we talked about choice items being something you're going to want to run against a team like this to, like, kind of stall break. Wall break sort of deal. I think speed tiers are going to be kind of an issue, but, like,
I do think his offense outside of Gallade, like, requires a lot of setup. So
yeah.
So, like, sometimes playing the slow game with him might not be bad because, yeah, he has unaware Clef, so that is a problem. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like you can.
I'm not a stall guy.
Well, the thing is, like, unaware Clef is good. Magic Guard is good, but the Unaware set is like,
It's better.
if you can get it chipped down, then it doesn't matter. But because like with a super effective move, or like if you're just a super strong mon, even before boosting, like you can break through it.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's a smart player. I'm sure if it's Unaware, he's not going to allow it to get chipped down easily.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he does have...
He's just very, like... Yeah, I know you're not the passive player. His team's pretty passive.
It is passive, but he has good priority, too. Mega Glade with Shadow Sneak. I mean, you know, it's not the best. Feraligatr gets Aqua Jet, does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So that's going to help, too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't doubt him. I just, like... I think offense is better in draft. I think if somebody can out-offense him, which, you know, was not his goal, like, I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble keeping up. Like, good positioning and high attacking stats boosted by choice items or life orb, let alone sheer force, is going to hit pretty hard. But I mean, he's made the championships with a stall heavy team as well. So
well, Magic Guard and sheer force both benefit with life orb, and he's got two that could do that.
that's true.
Like, so that does help his offense actually.
Yeah, that does a lot. I don't know. He's gonna rinse me week 3 after all this. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like, you're gonna have to like outplay him. You know, like when you play against teams like this, you have to sometimes kind of play their game and do it better. You know,
right?
Um,
Yeah,
and it's not even like super stally. Like, it just has a really like strong defensive backbone.
Yeah,
Like, it's not full out stall, or else it wouldn't have like half the mons it does.
yeah. He literally doesn't have a pressure mon, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Shivzy is always kind of an enigma to me because we just play completely differently. Like, he beat me in the season with that Dragapult thing, and then I got some lucky rolls in our second game, for example. But like, that's kind of one of my things about like bulkier, heavy teams like this is like one crit, you can kind of Jenga.
Yeah, or like one defensive linchpin gets knocked out, and then suddenly
Exactly.
you can't stand up to the other team.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like he's either like this is kind of a boomer bust thing. Like, bulkier teams are boomer bust in draft. You play 10 games, you're gonna get crit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you lean towards consistency, so that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm fully admitting too that like this just isn't really my playstyle. Also, Illumies is super fucking annoying. That mon is insanely underrated.
Yeah, I think it's 1.2.
Yeah, Prankster Encore alone.
Doesn't it get T-Wave also?
Yeah, and Wish.
Yeah, it's just like pretty good utility for what it is.
Yeah, and its defensive stats aren't great, but its SPDF and HP are good enough that you can run a FizzDef set and live things that people wouldn't expect it to. Also, Noivern, one of the most underrated draft mons, not just because I fucking love that Pokemon.
It is kind of an Uggo, though.
Eat one. Best Pokemon, coolest Pokemon, not close.
It's a pretty cool mon. So, like, as far as ranking, like, I'd probably rank this fairly high. I think I say that almost every time, but I mean, I think this team is very solid.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to playing this less than
most others.
Yeah, like Dart drafts, for example. Aspire TRK. I don't think it's better necessarily than Seth, Yordi, Carnage, Piplups. It's like fifth.
That sounds about where I would
like,
put it. Somewhere around there.
I think it's like a scarier team than Uzi's, but I think Uzi's team is better for draft. So I think it's like just under Uzi at like 6, 7, somewhere around there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Tampa Bay Giratina's. The fuck it we ball mentality is just something to admire with this guy.
Dude, Ian drafted just like me. Good shit just kept happening. Tornadus
Yeah.
in 4, Garchomp in 6.
He could honestly just bring his first 6 to 7 every week, and it'll be
Yeah.
good.
And Audino is good, man.
Yeah, it's good.
It's passive, but it's hard to kill. I wish he had like. He does have a ghost.
He's got a triple regenerator core on top of
Yeah.
Pharaoh, so that's fun.
Ugh.
Yeah.
With Garchomp and Mega Zam, no less, and Torn. I know
Yeah.
it's one of the regenerator core, but like, you can do whatever the hell you want with that Pokemon.
Yeah, and then on top of all that, Garchomp, like this team is very top heavy. He does not have a lot of different options. Like I feel like a lot of teams have more depth per se,
Yeah.
but you only play 6, right? you play with
Right.
6. So if your 6 are
exactly.
just like this scary good, then who cares?
Points are for spending. And like, you mentioned how many regenerator mons he has. A reckless Mienshao with high jump kick hits like a truck.
Yes, it does actually. Some of the calcs are terrifying.
Yeah.
Like high jump kick, reckless. Whew.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Wow.
His speed tiers leave a little bit to be desired, I would say.
He's got a shit ton of knockoff too. Like, say goodbye to your items.
True. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Zam gets knockoff.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Momentum,
Anyways.
1, 2, 3. Does Audino get teleport? I don't think it does.
No. I
Yeah.
don't think it does.
So 3 momentum users. Let's see if there's any big weaknesses. Actually, knockoff is kind of annoying for him.
Yeah.
Mienshao likes running choice items. even
His
with
Mega
regenerator.
definitely does not want to switch in. Look, like it's so physically frail and it's weak to knockoff that being a Mega
and
doesn't really matter.
Iron Barbs is a bit of a deterrent, but like not for long.
Yeah.
Yeah, knockoff kind of hurts.
He's got rough skin Garchomp too,
That's true. Oh yeah, good point.
which isn't like, that's also not the best deterrent, but it is like 2 of his mons will make you take damage for clicking.
Yeah.
Which could be enough.
And as far as Ghost goes, like Absol I don't see coming all that much. Like Super Luck sets with like Sucker Punch are good, don't get me wrong, but like Absol I don't see coming all that often.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because dark types are kind of important.
Yeah.
Like he'll have to watch out.
Audino eats Ghost for sure, but like a lot of his defensive core hates Ghost.
Yeah, because Jellicent. Yeah, Audino and Absol are his ghost answers, and they're like, okay,
Right.
Yeah, that is like a big drawback, but
Like I'm just looking like a fighting type with coverage running Scarf.
yeah, Torn might be the best track for that, but that's
Yeah.
not the best either.
But like a lot of fighting types get Stone Edge or Thunder Punch, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like I like this team. It's got a lot of really good mons. I'm just not sure. Like, he's gonna have to play a very offensive game, which he can do well too. Because like Garchomp after a Scale Shot is terrifying, for example. Torn after a Nasty Plot is terrifying. Mega Alakazam just exists and is terrifying.
It can
But, like, if he-
combine.
Yeah, well, like it's just like if he loses the positioning battle, I think that's gonna be a little bit tough.
Yeah, this team is boom or bust, but the boom
Yeah.
is terrifying. Like, yeah, that it's gonna be hard to rank this team low. Like, I know it's got some flaws, but
No, I agree, and
Yeah.
we've seen him. He's a good boom coach.
yeah, this playstyle fits him for sure.
Yeah, he got Kill Leader. I mean, I know it was Urshifu, which is a really good mon, but like you still gotta use it right to get Kill Leader.
Right, it's the only time anyone's ever made Urshifu kill leader. So
Exactly, and this is
Yeah.
season 12, including Little Cup.
yeah, this has got to be like our 6th or 7th season 8 one,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm not doubting Ian whatsoever. I think his team, like last time we did a Nat Dex draft, you and I gave him like 2 10s each, one in wall breaking, one in I don't remember what the other thing was. I
Setup
don't think
maybe.
this team on paper is as good, but I think this team is still scary.
It's pretty scary, dude. Like Torn T, Garchomp are both 18 points. Megazam is 17. Like
Yeah,
he took some of the like best draft mons. Period. You know.
yeah, that's a really good point.
Like
If we were talking about how good like Carnage just has like Mons that can win games on their own, he has a
Yeah.
lot of those.
yeah, like he's gonna have weeks where like Garchomp just goes in, or Torn T just goes in, or Megazam can't be stopped. You know, like
Right.
yeah, he's gonna do very well for himself, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Trace is really important on Zam too.
Oh, it's so good. We don't have like I guess we have shitty rain, but like copying like Swift Swim or you like switching on a water type and take their water absorb. Like those types of things are good.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's move on to Toady Hody. So he had a fun theme, and then if you look at his speed tiers, his slowest is what 107.
Yeah, he said he was not going to draft anything even 100.
Well, when,
Yeah.
when Blacephalon is your slowest, that's
Jeez.
insane. 107. The only thing I wish he would have done different is draft Alecki because it's like the fastest mon you can get. But
Right, like thematically speaking.
just yeah, strictly because of that, not because it would fit. Even though I think it would.
Yeah, did anybody draft Alecki? I don't think they did.
I don't think so, which is surprising because that thing won Kill Leader once, didn't it?
Yeah, with Jer.
Yeah, it's very good. Like he's got some things to remove ground types too. At least
Oh,
Serb.
dude, I was I was looking at the draft sheet and I was like, where is Alecki? No, it's Reggie Alecki. It starts with an R.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I don't know, like the theme is very cool. I think he will do I think he's gonna do fine. I just think it's not as good as it sounds to have everything be this fast, right?
No, for sure. He was cognizant of that as well.
Yeah, like you would think like, oh, higher speed stat is good because I can generally be outspeeding my opponent, which yes, that's true, that's good. The problem is most Pokemon that go fast are not typically bulky or basically that's the problem because like a lot of them will be offensive. You're just not going to have a lot of bulk. And you can win still with that for sure. Like you could just
Oh my god, yeah.
overwhelm people. Like he actually already played Shideru. Unfortunately for him, he lost. But
That was a super close game.
yeah, I watched the replay, and I mean he had Shideru on his toes for sure. Like it was very close to like him just rolling him over.
Yeah.
know?
Like and that's part of why I like that he has Blacephalon and Superior. Like really good snowballers, both of them. And they cover each other's weaknesses super well. But like offensively speaking. Like granted they can both have trouble against like say Incineroar, but he's got a Lycanroc there, he's got a Zygarde there. Cobalion can hit Incineroar really hard. What I really like about his team though is how much priority he has. Because like you're gonna have people running Trick Room. You're gonna have people running Scarfs against you. He's got E-Speed, Deoxys Speed. He's got Sucker Punch, Mega Absol. He's got E-Speed, Zygarde 10, Quick Attack, Gut Swallow, Accelerock on Lycanroc, Fake Out, Persian. That's good.
It is good. He's also got webs if you wanted to do that for any reason, in case he was worried about scarfs or.
Which he should be.
Yeah. So that's a good option. I saw him use Magic Bounce to reflect rocks too.
Oh, yeah?
So he does kind of rely on that, unfortunately. He doesn't have the best hazard removal. And Serp gets
Yeah.
defog.
Rabombi gets defog. Swallow gets defog. You don't really want them running that.
Right. Serp actually does run it a lot. But
Yeah.
The other one's
Defog
not so
Flare.
much. Yeah. I think
Flare is also really nice.
it's a crime that Electro doesn't have rapid spin. Like, it literally is a ball.
And it's fast as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing I kind of wish, I'm sure Deoxyspeed gets teleport, but that's not like the best thing for it. So you got Rabombi with U-turn, Cobalion with Volt Switch, Swallow with U-turn, Electrode with Volt Switch, and Persian with U-turn. Those aren't the best mons in the world for forcing switches and taking advantage of momentum. I feel like this is like a hyper offensive team just because of, like you said, the lack of bulk and the speed. I think a little bit more like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Opportunistic momentum would be really good.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. It's kind of tough to pull it off, though. You know,
Yeah.
with the theme like this.
But one thing that I think speaks really well to the high speed tier, hyper offensive sort of deal is how many threatening leads he has.
Oh my
Which I think is
god.
something he said too. Like Deoxyspeed, best lead.
Period.
Lycanroc could challenge for best lead. Rabombi, fantastic lead.
Yeah, if he brings all of those, what are you thinking? Electrode is a great lead. Taunt and screens, you just start out doing that.
Yeah, and like on top of the opportunistic priority, I wish like a Defiant user were in here, but having a chance to miss Superior with 100% accurate moves because you defogged, pretty cool. Like it doesn't beat flying types for the most part, but pretty cool.
It could be Conkeldurr, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
That thing likes to click defog.
I mean, how does it take a Mach Punch? I guess you could run Coil. Anyway.
Sorry, Spire linked us a song on the Discord.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I just saw it. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this team. I mean, they go fast. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Here, I know what to say about this team. I'm fucking glad he's back.
true. Yes.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Also, if we're gonna talk about photos, god damn.
Yeah, that's a flex. Look at him. Like, it doesn't fit that box the best, but
He didn't even post his hot wife.
yeah, he could have too.
Still a flex.
Yeah, good. He's a good-looking dude. He got married this year too. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats, Chris. Toady.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Next.
Shit, dude. I'm kind of drunk.
Really?
Yeah, I've had 8 drinks.
Nice. Well, I'll stall out the next 3 teams as much as possible, so we can get maximum zip slurs. Next, we have Shideru. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I know he's corrected me before, so I apologize if I am.
No, he said it was Shideru
Okay,
in
cool.
his video. Yeah.
Okay, good.
The dispute was, is it Shaderu,
I knew it wasn't that.
Shatteru? Nah, it's Shideru.
Okay. This team. Am I drunk? No.
I know.
Negative. Dude, this team is. I feel like it's one of the better teams, even though its speed tiers are like the worst. I've like
Yeah, the speed tiers are rough.
the speed tiers are not good, but I think sometimes with this team, it's fine. Like, it's not ideal, but his team is so good anyway that it's almost okay.
I think this is what I wish. I'm not trying to be a dick here, but if I had to pick between this bulky ass team and Shivzy's bulky ass team, I'm picking this team.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like it is first of all, his Dragon Fairy Steel Core is nuts.
It's gross.
He's got Wish support on top of that. Heatran, Flash Fire for Caesar. Hello? Like,
Yeah.
it's actually daunting looking at this team trying to break it because he's even got Gligar, which is very bulky.
Dude, Glow King, I have that in another draft right now. That thing is a fucking problem.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Um,
And he can run Trick Room.
he certainly can. I mean, Mega Scizor with Bullet Punch is like speed tiers don't matter when you go first anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
He doesn't care about extreme speed or fake out, so.
Como can set up Clanger's Soul and get faster. Kiss likes Scarf anyways, like that's a common item for it. So does
And
Heatran
Togekiss.
actually.
Togekiss is the most annoying Scarfer in the game.
Oh, that's why I said yeah, Kiss. I just shortened it to Kiss for some reason.
Sorry, I thought you said Heatran. My bad.
No, but both are good though. Yeah, Scarf, Kiss, just spamming Air Slash. Who would pick mons like that? Honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we said about Shivzy's team. Like, I don't want to play either of them because breaking bulk like this is really hard, and they cover each other's defensive weaknesses really well. One sec.
Bless you.
First time I think I've sneezed on one of our videos. But like these walls, as well as they cover each other's weaknesses, I think they are more offensively threatening. Like if I go back to Shivzy's, Blissy's not that scary. Slowbro can be. Skarmory can be if you want to run like weak armor. I think Shidoru is like you could easily run Specs Vaporeon, Specs Slowking, Specs Heatran, Specs Toga. You know what I mean? Like it's deceptively bulky, deceptively offensive rather.
Yeah, and he does like. I mean, it's not the perfect solution, but he has webs. You know, Sableye
is a really good webs user, straight up.
Yeah, I mean he can block spin with Sableye too. He doesn't have Defiant or anything, but still, like webs is a great way to circumvent. Maybe you don't even run Scarf Togekiss. You just webs, and then you're faster than everything. You know.
Right. Yeah. I don't know where I'd put this team.
This is
obviously it's got defensive synergy.
I would honestly like. I know the speed tiers are what they are, but I would, and it's a meme because it's Mega Scizor. But
are you putting it first because of fucking Mega Scizor?
No, I'm not putting it first. But I'd probably put it like top 5. Around there.
Top 5 I can get behind.
Yeah, like top 5, like, and the only reason is because of the like how slow it is. I
would be remiss though to point this out. Like, if we're gonna knock Shivzy for having a 123 and then a 115 as his fastest, Shidoru's fastest is 97. You get. Let me do some math real quick.
No, it's not. Love just doesn't even count.
Okay, so
his fastest is Orbeetle, which is 90.
Okay, 90. So what is that, like a 105 you're running Band or Specs? Let's see. What's a 105 mod? Zarude?
Yeah. Yeah, but his defensive backbone is incredible. Like, incredible.
Yeah, dude, like I don't know, I have a 105 in. Let's see, 103. When is Orbeetle running like max speed? You got to get a 104 can run Adamant Band against him.
Dang.
Yeah.
I don't know though, dude. It's just like, even with being able to do that, he's got Regenerator. He's got on Slowking, Vaporeon could Wish Pass.
True.
Scizor heals itself. Togekiss heals itself. It's Gligar heals itself. The Sableye,
like I said,
like
I think this team is better for the two like bulky heavy ones, but like not hitting 100 is kind of tough.
No, sure, like it definitely is. Like it's why I'm not ranking it higher. You know. In my head.
And all that being said, he did just beat the fast draft.
Yeah, but like they could both do certain things with that. Like that was probably very. I'd be interested to see the pace for that because I bet they like no one was even like putting anything into speed. Surely.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like on either end, like maybe a little bit, but not what you would typically see.
That's a good point. Here, I'm gonna pull him up.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on while you do that.
Yeah, go for it.
We have Mandem next, and I think Mandem usually drafts really well. I like his.
I love Mandem's drafts.
Yeah, I think this team is like it almost doesn't matter when your first three picks are Zygarde, Core, Sylveon.
That's disgusting.
Like when you get a Core, and I know people don't like the Cores thing as much as I do. You know, like Dragon Fairy, Steel, Fire, Water, Grass.
Right.
But when your top three picks like are three Mons and a Core that are all among the best for their type,
right?
It's just like you're gonna have a good team, like straight up.
We've strayed towards defensive synergy. The reason people like those cores is because they promote defensive synergy without having to think about it.
Yeah, they just naturally work together well.
Yeah.
And man, he's got I had to prep for this team, by the way. This is my round one or week one opponent.
Yikes.
So like
this is a really good team.
That's a really good team. Yeah, he's got like Zygarde, which I think people sleep. I know it's 18 points, right? I think it's 18. I'm gonna double check.
Yeah, it is.
I know it's 18 points, so maybe it's not slept on, but I don't think people give it enough credit. Like, it's one of the best draft mons, hand down.
Oh, 100%. I think the reason people like don't pick it as much is because like you kind of have to craft your team around it a little bit.
Sure,
but that doesn't make it bad.
No, like in the right team, it's terrifying. It's so good, man.
One Dragon Dance, one Scale Shot, one Substitute.
You're a ground type with Ground Stab that ignores the standard rule that flying types get to be immune.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is such a powerful trait.
We've talked about Scald, we've talked about U-Turn, we've talked about Knockoff as some of the best moves in the game. Thousand Arrows and Wicked Blow are the best offensive moves in the game because their distribution is so limited, people talk about them less.
Right. It's so good. Like, your Bronzong with Levitate, gone. Rotomage, see you later.
Gone.
Like, yeah.
Any Rotom.
And then you take Corviknight, who's just... Steel Flying is amazing, but it's the only one of those that gets U-turn.
Yeah.
And that's just super good. It can run Bulk Up effectively with Body Press. It recovers, like... Man.
Yeah, the Power Trip set is really scary. I like Sylveon with it too, like, not just because of the Fantasy Core. Like, Corviknight is hard enough to kill, but it's one of those mons, like, Zygarde and Corviknight are both mons that you have to, like, devote prep to. Honestly, Sylveon too, and Mega Slowbro, holy shit.
And Heracross, and Cinderace.
Yeah, but, like, Corviknight getting wishes from Sylveon, like, you really, 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 really want strong physical steel poison stab to kill Sylveon because it can run Fizz Death easily with those stats. So it wish passes into Corviknight and you're right back where you started.
Yep. Well, and if you think about it, Sylveon is one of the best Zygarde checks because it loves to sub, and then Hyper Voice just goes through it. I'm pretty sure I had this exact core, but swap out Corviknight with Skarmory. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. No, it's a very good core. Like, and Corv might even be better because it gets U-turn.
I think Corviknight is definitely better than Skarmory.
Yeah, like it doesn't get the hazard stacking, but it gets momentum, and it's a better setup threat with Bulk Up.
Yeah, those Power Strip sets are terrifying.
Yeah.
Another mon you have to prep for.
So yeah, like you pick one of Zygarde's hardest counters in Sylveon, and you're off to the races, man. Like he gets I mean, Corv is like also one of the best defoggers. He has Court Change. I guess that's really all he has on that end. And then he doesn't really get Stealth Rocks either, it looks like. I'm not really seeing a rocker.
He gets spikes from Heracross. Does Regice get rocks?
I don't believe so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of rough. I mean, you don't need rocks every week, but there are certain matchups where you definitely appreciate having rocks.
Right. Yeah, it does not.
Yeah, so that's definitely a negative. But
Yeah, his low tier mons are. I mean, like, honestly though, like, switcherooing an assault vest from Lopunny is pretty cool.
yeah, no, that's actually a like you can do fun stuff with Klutz for sure. And Regice is incredibly bulky on the special side, like 200.
Dude, also, it gets bolt beam with an insane. What is it? Maybe it's only like 100, but like,
It's 100, yeah.
yeah, but like bolt beam like that is pretty good.
No, it's a good mod. Like you switch it on special attacks that it's not weak to, and then
Yeah,
like
good weakness policy.
if it had recovery, it would be super good. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, it doesn't.
yeah. I think this. I mean, I think this team is justifiably top heavy.
Right? Yeah. It's through Circuitry, it's incredible. Like
Yeah,
He-
I'm a little bit low on Circuitry, just because like a grass poison type, for example, just like hard walls it for the most part. But
sure, I just think, man, 173 special attack. That's tough. Because
yeah, Regieleki was like their try again. Zerk.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it gets energy ball though, so ground types, like, sure,
That's true.
like, yeah, you're not wrong about grass types, but being able to beat grounds is very nice.
Yeah, honestly, a good poison type gives his team a little bit of fits. Now that I look at it, outside of Zygarde.
And Corv,
Yeah, but like if he's not running the power trip set, for example.
yeah, no, like a poison type that can deal with Corviknight would be tough. Yeah, like if it gets like Toxtricity would actually eat this team up outside of Zygarde.
Exactly.
Which I actually almost
I mean-
drafted that one. It was,
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah.
But I do think like his top. Yeah. His top 6 is great. His top 7 is very good. His whole team has some holes. Because like Zarude doesn't get knockoff. For
Have we
example.
talked
Does he?
about his speed tiers?
Oh no, we have not.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. What
119.
119 is the fastest, yeah.
2 105s. Down to 95, which covers each other, I believe. 85, 83.
It's
Yeah, they're not bad.
pretty good. Yeah, I said 120 was kind of like the benchmark, but 119 is like right there. That's pretty good.
And Cinderace can be a pain in the ass for sure. So.
Oh yeah. It's not Libero, of course, or else it would
Yeah,
have
I'm
been
realizing
drafted.
that we have that included.
Or else it would have been drafted. Oh, wait a second, do we? There.
Oh, just on the type chart, hidden ability.
Well, it's actually right here. We should probably go through the
Yeah.
doc now that that's brought up and like delete the.
Sure it's-
Well, just like there's a couple other abilities banned, right? Like we should come here and take that out. Because
Yeah,
I
that's
can,
just banned.
I can see why you would think that was legal, if it's
Yeah.
there.
It says Blaze only on the draft sheet.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think this team is good. I wish it had rocks, but honestly, like those first 3 months are so good that he's gonna be fine. Like he's gonna do well.
Yeah, he's gonna be hard to break. He's gonna be hard to prep for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Last team is the Douglasville Dittos and Vando. The other pink team, we got both of them on this side. Actually, we just went from Lopunny to Mega Lopunny, so that's funny.
Hey-oh.
This one is much better. That's why it was a first round pick and not the last pick. But that's to be expected. This looks like a typical Vando draft to me.
Yeah,
He
this is very Vando.
he tends to draft like 10 to 13-ish point mons after his first pick.
Yeah.
He'll pick up a bunch of those, pick up something strong like Cart, and then he picks a lot of like I guess the best way to say it is like UU level stuff.
Yeah.
Like he picks good mons. They're not bad mons, but he doesn't usually pick a lot of the super high tier ones.
Yeah. NU into RU, sort of like RU, NU.
Yeah. But they're always good. Like, his team still end up pretty amazing.
Yeah, he uses them really well, too.
Yeah. Like, pairing Megalop with Future Sight support is such a smart idea.
Yeah, he and I had the same philosophy going in.
Yeah, like you did that with Infernape, which is also very terrifying.
Mm-hmm. No, but Megalopony in particular, though.
I do like the Registeel pick, and then he wasn't afraid to get another stealing card because they're entirely different steel types. Like, Cart's almost not even a steel type in my brain because you don't.
I agree.
You don't think about using it defensively. At all.
Water, Fairy, and Steel are probably the best types, or maybe Ground too, but the best types to double up on.
For defense, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, this team is it's got pretty good pivoting. It's got U-turn, lob, teleport, Slowking, U-turn on Flygon, U-turn on Moltres, U-turn on Zoroark. Like, a lot of his best mons can all pivot, and that's gonna be really nice.
I think every single mon he drafted has like a chance to come most weeks, except for maybe Dusknoir, because like 100 base attack isn't very good. Like, I think pressure and Shadow Sneak, like coverage too, but like for the most part, like Dusknoir is the weak link in this team. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah. Like, I always wish I had more HP because then it could be really good.
Yeah, it only has 45.
Yeah, like its defenses are amazing. Like, it can still take hits, but its HP really holds it back.
Yeah, I see why people go for Dusclops more often for sure, but
yeah,
a lot of these mons too require a lot of prep.
Oh yeah, and I love the mind games you can play with Zoroark. Because I think Zoroark is like super matched up well with fighting types. I could have worded that better, but
yeah,
if you're masquerading as Megalop, like you're gonna have things switch in that Zoroark loves fighting.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's really nice. Yeah, I mean, it's.
I'm trying to see.
It's just a good balance.
An electric type would be nice on this team, for sure.
Outside of
Waters.
Yeah, I mean he's got card, but if it's I don't know Mantine or something, that could definitely be annoying.
Yeah, bulky waters could give him some trouble. I mean, I know Kartana is like you send in your bulky water. If you get the positioning wrong, Kartana wins the game. But like, just like volt switching would be nice if I'm nitpicking.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell we're getting tired. It's hilarious.
I am getting. I'm also hungry.
Yeah, me too. I feel you.
I'm looking at his speed tiers. They seem pretty okay. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, he's got a gap between Card and Lot, but
yeah,
it's not. I'd rather him have that gap than not have like Megalop. You know.
Yeah, 100%. I think Megalop does more for his team than the speed tiers.
Right. Like the gap. Like it's okay to have gaps. If it can't always be helped. You know.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, that being said, Latias and Latios did both get drafted, so having them run specs, for example, gonna be interesting. Yeah, but they're not bad by any stretch.
This defensive core too, like Slowking, Registeel, Florges, Moltres, is actually quite annoying to break.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like high tier mons necessarily, but that's still like pretty tough to break.
Yeah, 100%.
They all heal except for Registeel, too.
And Florges wishes. We've talked about Fairy Steel wish cores before.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's gonna be tough this season. This is similar to the team he drafted when he won the ship. honestly.
Very much so. It's got a lot of repeats, actually.
It's got
He
some
trades-
repeats.
Yeah.
And it's just got the same kind of vibe. So, watch out, man.
Yeah, he trades Kartana for Tyrantrum, Slowking for Slowbro, but he picks up Flygon and Moltres again.
Yeah, they're both good too. Like, Moltres is one I need to use. I only used it in the season I dropped out, so I didn't get to use it much. But
He has 4
Super good.
Defoggers, 1 Rocker, and then Garbodor. So that's both spikes. So 1 Rocker, 1 dual spike setter.
not the best, but you can like he's gonna bring Registeel a lot, and it doesn't mind running rocks every week. Like that's
I think that's
fun.
what he said too. He's like, Registeel is a very good rocker anyway because it just sticks around.
Yeah, like it's such a like it's gonna get rocks down like most of the time. That's not gonna be a
Yeah.
problem. Like it. So like compared to some other teams, it's better than if the ones that just had one basically.
Right.
But yeah, I would say like I probably even though I really like this team, I probably wouldn't rank it super high.
Yeah. I
Like-
think top 10 is like ceiling.
Yeah, it'd probably be around 9 to 10, like somewhere in
Yeah.
the middle.
Should we do just a quick run through? Like we can literally just be like, start with Carnage as 1, decide. You know what I mean? Like a living.
Oh man, maybe I'm honestly tired.
Let's do it real quick.
All right, all
Give the
right,
people
all
what they
right,
want.
all right, all right, all right, all right.
I'll
all
keep
right.
it. I'll keep it noted.
Okay, this is gonna be. We got this.
All right, let me delete everything on this other note real quick.
So are you're keeping it on your sheet?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it on my phone.
I got it. Got it. All right.
All right. So Carnage starts naturally as 1.
Yeah.
Switch over to Yordi.
I would put. Oh man, I really like Jordy's team. I think I was underrating it earlier.
I still think I like Carnage's team better.
I put Jordy above Carnage for me. I think I'm changing my mind.
Oh, so we're doing both? Hold
Oh no, that's fine. Just do yours. I'll just say mine out loud. Whatever's easiest, dude. I'm not trying to burden you.
up. No, it's easy. I got it. Here,
All right.
let me open something real quick. All right. This is taking longer than I thought. My computer is pissed.
I could also just like pull it up on here actually if you want. Like pull
Oh,
this.
track yours?
Yeah, like both of ours, or just mine.
Here.
Dude, how
Oh,
many
you got it.
how many hours are we in, bro? How does Specs do this?
I don't know, man. We're clearly flagging.
Yeah,
I've got them both.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna put Jordy's above. I
Got it.
think. Yeah. Okay. Seth.
I think he's good on 3rd for me.
Man. I'm having. This is tough, dude. I like these 3 teams so much. Put Seth 2nd for me.
Gotcha.
All right, Piplups. I would love. I love this team already, but I would love it even more if it had a fighting type, man.
Yeah, that's a knock for me.
That's like the one. That's the only thing. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I might have Carnage as 4.
Really?
I really just love this core. Yeah, Mawile, Salamence, P2. And I already put him 3rd. Honestly, no. I think maybe Carnage over Seth. Yeah.
Carnage over Seth?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I would put Piplup 2nd. Or... No, put Piplups 1st. I like Piplups the best.
Oh damn!
I really
Good
do.
change.
I love his team a lot.
Here, let me look at it real quick.
Like it definitely needs a fighting type, but like it doesn't need a fighting type. It would just benefit a lot from it. But outside of that, it's like such a cool team.
I'm in a weird spot here, man. I like some teams better.
We're gonna have different opinions. That's okay.
No, I know, but I'm looking at Piplup's team and I like it better than some of the other ones, but
I think I'm at Piplups 1, Yordi 2, Carnage 3, Seth 4, and that's I really like all 4.
yeah, damn, dude, this is tough. I thought this would be quick.
No, I knew it wouldn't be quick. I'm too wish-washy and love every team.
I'm gonna put Piplup second.
Yeah, it's that core, dude. Those first 3, I love it. I'm also a huge P2 fan, just in general.
Oh, that's true. You are being swayed by that.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna put Piplups fourth. I like the other 3 better.
Yeah. All right.
Just because there's some more glaring weaknesses. All right, moving on to Woodsy.
5.
Yeah, 5 for now.
He's not gonna be last, but for sure the first 4 teams are all I really like them.
Agreed.
All right, Jer, I would put.
I'm gonna move him to. Yeah,
I think put him on 5 for me. Maybe it's between him and Seth.
Yeah, right before Woodsy.
Yeah.
I think Seth's team is scarier than Jer's.
Yeah.
Seth's offensive threats have better speed.
I mean, this team is scary too, though, man. Like, yeah, I think I would put it at fit though, like right above Woodsy.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to Cloud. Oh, I like this team.
Yeah, this team is cool. I think. So we've done 6 so far.
I'll look at Seth's real quick. Seth's is climbing the more I look at other teams.
Right? Yeah, like Seth's is really good. I remember talking about it earlier, then I put it a little bit lower. What's my order?
I'm going to put Seth second and Cloud third. But you right now, you have Piplups, Manectrix,
Seth.
Carnage, Seth, Jer, Woodsy.
Good lord. Okay. I would probably put Cloud above Seth, below Carnage.
Hell yeah.
I think. I don't know, dude. God damn. No, put Cloud above Carnage.
Ooh.
So what is that, 3 for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, put him in third. I think I like Piplups and I like Jordy's better.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, moving to the Dutch Zipmontops.
Last. Last for sure. That's easy. Spire.
Above that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not gonna rank myself because I never do.
Oh, come on. Put it where I do. Oh, wait, no, we have different lists. I am going to put you right above Woodsy.
Okay. Makes sense. I think you said that earlier. Like it was just like slightly better than his, but they were both darts drafts, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
To Uzi. I think I like him
Put him below Jer for me.
right below Jer.
Right below Jer, yeah. I know you really like it. I do really like the team. I just think I really like all the other teams too.
I think the last 4 picks are tough. I'm going to put it right below Piplups, right above Jer for me.
Nice.
All right, me.
All right. Let's see. You're not ranking yourself, are you?
No. No.
I'm thinking I had Jordy 2, right? And then 3 is who? Cloud?
You had Jordy 2 and Cloud 3.
I think I would put you above Cloud, below Jordy.
Word.
Yeah. The more I think about Jordy's draft, the more I like it. I know Klefki has a lot on his plate, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That team
I think without that dependence, I have him second or third, but I have him fourth right now.
Yeah. Okay. Shivsy.
I don't know what to do with this team.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna put it just under yours.
Okay. I think
I'm gonna put it just above yours.
who do I have above Jer?
You have
Just one spot above him.
Seth.
Okay. I think I'd put Shivsy right below Jer.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna put him too.
And who's that right above?
Uzi.
Uzi versus Shivsy. Which team? Yeah. No.
You want to read your list real quick?
No, I think I got it. Leave it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, put him right below Jer.
Gotcha.
For sure. All right, Ian. God damn. This is top heavy.
These are weird ones.
But it's good. It's good.
I think I'm gonna put him right below Shivsy, honestly.
I still have Piplups 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to put him right below, or right above Carnage.
Damn.
Can you read it to me after that? Sorry.
Yeah, you got Piplups, Yordi, me, Cloud, Ian, Carnage, Seth, Jer, Shivsy, Uzi, Woodsy, Spire, TRK.
Yeah. There's a couple in there that are really close, but I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, that sounds right. All right. Toady. I'm going to put it above Spire, below Woodsy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a cool theme and I like it, but I think it's got a lot of holes that are tough to work around.
Totally agreed. To Shideru.
Okay, this one's interesting.
I think it's better than Shivsy's. I'm gonna put it right between Jer and Shivsy. Oh, yeah.
I think I'll put it right below Seth for mine.
Nice.
What is that, 7 or something? 8?
8.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. Okay. Mandem. Honestly, I feel like I view it around the same as Shad's.
Yeah.
But I ranked Shad a little higher than you did.
We're about even on Shad.
Oh, okay.
We're exactly even on Shad.
Oh, well, I'm just talking shit for no reason.
Yeah, I just feel like a fast Mon
I don't know. I like his
coverage
team.
eats this up.
I don't know what to do with this team, honestly. Because in some ways I feel like I want to rank it high, but then in some ways I'm like, I don't know. I actually...
I'm putting him right under Shadero for me.
I'm sorry, can you read my list one more time?
Yep. Piplups, Yordi, me, Cloud, Ian, Carnage, Seth, Shideru, Mandem, Jer, Shivzy, Uzi, Woodsy, Toady, Spire, TRK.
Okay, I don't think I actually ranked Mandem yet. Where did you put him?
I put him...
Or where did I... Were you reading my list?
Yeah, I was reading your list.
Who was...
You ranked him right after Shideru.
Okay, alright, yeah, I think I can live with that.
Oh, no, yeah, I just kind of put yours where mine was. Whoops, drunk. Anyway.
It's fine. I was trying to figure out where to put him. I was going to put him somewhere around there. Then that works for me. Alright, Vando's last.
Yep.
Well, not ranked last.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say... I'm comparing his team to Jer's because I think they're pretty similar in my head. Like,
that's where I'm at too.
Like
I'm comparing him to
ranking-wise?
Jer and Uzi because they're consecutive in mine.
I think I will put... Oh, man, I don't know. I'll put him right behind Jer. I'll put Jer's higher.
Right behind Jer.
I like Jer's team a lot. I like... dude, man.
Let me put him... Yeah, I agree. I like Jer's a lot.
Okay. Are you able to share your screen at all? Oh, you're on your phone. Never mind. That wouldn't make sense.
Here, I'm just gonna text this to you. Well, message it to you.
Nice. Yeah, I'll just put it up. Man, Specs, you're a champion.
Yeah, what the fuck, Specs?
Oh, this is not showing up very well. Oh, there we go. There it is.
It does look silly though.
No, it works. Yeah, so there's the rankings. Wow, I really like the Piplups team. Turns out.
I do too, don't get me wrong. I think it's got some bigger holes than the ones above it.
Mm-hmm. You ended up ranking Seth very high too. I'm kind of surprised I talked myself out of it a little bit, but I do like his team a lot.
I like that team quite a bit.
Yeah, the more...
Yeah, we talked about his weaknesses, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know. I think that team's gonna do some shit.
Oh yeah. But yeah, anyways, I'm tired and hungry.
Yeah, can you guys tell? Holy shit.
This picture is also not going anywhere. Hello? There we go. But yeah, if you stayed for the whole thing, God bless you. You are amazing for that. We'll put in timestamps. Like it's the end of the video, so it's pointless to say that now. But yeah, thanks for watching. You got any last words, Zip?
Nope, good shit, man.
All right, awesome. Well, good luck to all the coaches, and catch you later.